If you grew up during the 90s or the early 2000s, there's an extremely high chance that you watched some of Dan Schneider's shows. It was like impossible to avoid him. It'd be like trying to dodge raindrops during a thunderstorm. Dan Schneider during this period was the king of children's television programs. He made some of the most influential productions like Drake and Josh, The Amanda Show, iCarly. His resume is just stacked with tons of shows that I imagine meant a lot to many of you growing up. And make no mistake, you meant a lot to the creator of these shows as well. Well, not so much you, but your feet certainly did. The creator of these shows is a monstrous foot fetishist, Dan Get in the Van Schneider. He is a vile, creepy, disgusting human being, and this has been known for years. However, a new docuseries just dropped really diving into this subject matter and putting a spotlight on it in a way that hasn't previously been explored. It's called Quiet on Set. Now, if you don't know what Dan looks like, here's a nice picture of him here. He looks like he was made in the Dragon's Dogma 2 character creator. And Dan Schneider has become the face of Quiet on Set. However, it actually explores more than that. It's like a whole deep look at all of the horrible things that were going on during these Nickelodeon productions. It's more than just Dan, but he obviously plays a central role here because he made these shows. He was the head honcho of most of this, and he was well aware of some of these terrible and downright criminal things that were going on behind the scenes on some of these shows. And the reason I mention the foot fetishism off rip here is because that was one of the first things that people really caught on to in the public eye. After Dan's glory days at Nickelodeon, people started to pick up on how odd it was that a lot of these children's shows had an emphasis on feet. Pretty frequently, it was a common thread throughout a lot of these shows, like feet humor and having these child actors and actresses displaying their feet. And in 2013, one of the shows Dan worked on, Sam and Cat, actually ran a competition where kids were supposed to submit pictures of their feet to them. Like, that's weird. No matter how you spin it, that's a really weird thing to request from your audience of children, to take pictures of their feet for you. That's just downright creepy and wrong. I can't believe that tweet is still up, by the way, over a decade later, and no one thought to delete that. That is impressive. But anyway, people started to pick up on Dan's fixation with stompers, and it seemed like his fetish was bleeding into his work, and he was having the children unknowingly participate in it by having them display their feet. That's what it seemed to a lot of people, so it was obviously very concerning, so people did more and more digging. They found more and more evidence of Dan being an awful piece of shit behind the scenes with a lot of shady things going on there, and it just led to this reputation that people for years have known that Dan blows loads to toes Schneider is not a good person. And now Quiet on the Set has released, and so much information has come out, not just about Dan, but about that entire Nickelodeon workplace around these child stars. Arguably the largest piece of new information that dropped during this docuseries was the sexual abuse of Drake Bell by someone named Brian Peck. So Brian Peck was a coach at Nickelodeon whom was sexually abusing Drake Bell, and he was actually convicted in 2004. He spent 16 months in the slammer, and then immediately upon release, landed a job with Disney. If that doesn't show just how rotten to the core this industry is, I don't know what will. There is deep-seated evil in Hollywood. He went to jail for lewd acts with a minor. He is a sex offender, a convicted sex offender, and he immediately got a Disney Channel job working on The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. What the fuck? That's mind-bogglingly evil. Like that's not just irresponsible, that's malicious. It's not like they just made some kind of mistake where they put a sex offender in a role where he works almost exclusively with children. It's not like they made a whoopsie-daisy, they just happened to overlook that he's a sex offender. They knew. They would have to know, and they still hired him for that role regardless. That's scary. That's terrifying. They're actively enabling a fucking sex offender to potentially prey on more children. Drake also described that when he went into court, Brian Peck had the support of some very powerful and familiar faces. There were 41 character letters written to the judge asking for leniency for Brian Peck. 41 letters of support from industry personnel that were trying to get a lighter sentence for Brian Peck, even knowing that he is guilty of the crimes for which he is about to face the punishment, asking for a more generous sentence. These weren't just 41 pieces of toilet paper with nonsensical scribblings on it from nobodies. These were 41 character letters that were submitted by industry personnel, some of whom were high up on the food chain, so these things carried weight. And they're advocating for someone who is guilty of sexually abusing a child. Holy shit. They just viewed it as not a big deal, I guess. Listen, Judge, I understand Brian Peck diddled a child. Who at Nickelodeon hasn't? Are you really gonna throw him away or put him away and throw away the key for that? What about season 3 of Drake and Josh? What actually matters here? Let's think about that. Like, this is crazy to me. It almost stops being surprising learning that Brian Peck landed a job at Disney right after his 16 months in prison for this crime, because it seems like that entire industry just does not give a fuck about the safety of kids to begin with. So like I said, Quiet on Set isn't just about Dan Schneider and all of the awful things that he has done. It's about how awful that entire industry itself is. But once again, Dan Schneider does still play a large role in this docuseries, highlighting the bad workplace and environment that he would cultivate, the weird shit that would go on in like the writer's room and the way he'd treat some people, just a whole plethora of different bad stuff. And in response to all of this, Dan Schneider himself actually stepped out from the shadows, leaving his little gopher's hidey hole and addressing it head on in one of the most painfully scripted and staged apology video interviews I've ever seen.
Hey, it's Boogie. I played T-Bo on Nickelodeon's iCarly. I got a chance to watch the Quiet on Set program, and I reached out to Dan to see if it was something that he'd be willing to discuss. I'm pleased to say that he said yes. Dan, how are you?
I'm okay.
The interview is not conducted by a professional. It's conducted by a former actor in one of Dan Schneider's shows, and he is not equipped to handle something like this. This is the biggest load of baloney. Like, this is just some straight up fucking malarkey. There is no pushback from Boogie on anything in this interview at all. It's just strategic softballs designed to give Dan Schneider some kind of sympathetic PR win here, where he comes out of this looking better, where he comes out of this like not the bad guy. It's so deplorable that they'd even try something like this with a straight face. I think it is extremely transparent what this is, and I'm happy to say pretty much everyone saw straight through this. This did not give Dan Schneider the dunk I think he was expecting it to. This did not make him look any better in the public's eye. It actually just made it look even more sinister that he was able to, it seems, pre-prepare this interview to mitigate the potential fallout from the docuseries airing.
Let's talk about the massages.
Okay.
Watching the content yesterday, it was disturbing.
It was wrong. It was wrong that I ever put anybody in that position. It was the wrong thing to do. I'd never do it today. I'm embarrassed that I did it then. I apologize to anybody that I ever put in that situation.
Dan, talk to me about the writer's room. From what I saw, not cool.
No, and I don't mean to cut you off, but if I can cut right to the chase, let me just say, no writer should ever feel uncomfortable in any writer's room, ever, period, the end, no excuses.
It starts with what's supposed to be this moment of taking accountability. Dan Schneider's just point blank apologizing and, holding himself accountable for the sins of the past type vibe. Except he's really not. Like, these aren't things that you just, hand wave away with, a simple apology. A lot of what was reported is, unforgivable bad shit. There's really no way of apologizing for the things that Dan Schneider has done and also been accused of. So it's just, it feels so fucking insincere. And Dan Schneider got away with it, and it seems will continue to get away with it. So he loses nothing by doing something like this, which just makes it frustrating to see him parade around pretending like he cares now all of a sudden. It's extremely easy for him to just be like, oh yeah, that was bad. I feel bad for that. Oh, what a regret. Yep, not good. It's just, I would have liked if the interviewer was someone that would legitimately dive into a lot of these things and actually press him on a lot of these things. This interview never even addresses the things that people want to hear from Dan on, such as like the sexualization of the children in those shows. Even outside of all the foot stuff, Dan included some very inappropriate things in his programs, such as Ariana Grande milking a potato, and then another scene with her getting like splashed with water and shit. Like, all of it was very unacceptable and seems to sexualize the child actors and actresses in his productions. And that was never even brought up in this interview. So this interview just, it doesn't have any real substance to it. It is legitimately just a scripted PR play from Dan.
I cut it. I want my shows to be popular. I want everyone to like. The more people who like the shows, the happier I am.
Yeah.
So if there's anything in a show that needs to be cut because it's upsetting somebody, let's cut it.
So I think it's big for you to say with your work, if it's viewed as that today, you don't have a problem.
Cut it. Cut it.
I mean, that's a solution.
The last thing I want to ever do is put any content in a show that's going to upset my audience and make them want to turn off the TV. Why would I ever want to do that?
That makes sense.
This is him addressing a question that Boogie asked about like inappropriate jokes in there without getting too deep into the weeds, just a broad subject of some of these jokes have aged poorly and people look at them as inappropriate for a child audience. How do you respond? The most softball way of asking this question, mind you, and his response was, cut it. Just get rid of it. I don't want it in the show. If it's aged bad and it makes people uncomfortable or, you know, this and that, cut it. And Boogie's like patting him on the back for it, like, oh my goodness, wow. That's so benevolent. What a great solution. Yeah, that makes sense. What the fuck? It's so easy for him to say that now, but it doesn't take away the fact that you filmed it. If you cut Ariana Grande milking a potato type shit, if you cut some of the foot stuff that you included in there, it doesn't change the fact that you still had the child actors and actresses doing that shit and were sexualizing them. It still happened. That's still bad. Cutting it from the final product doesn't erase what you did. It's so frustrating that there's no pushback on any of this in the interview. He just gets to let him say his piece and then get applause for it. It's so stupid.
And when Drake and I talked and he told me what had happened, I was more devastated by that than anything that ever happened to me in my career thus far. 41 of those people wrote letters for Peck, character letters, praising him for who he was and asking for leniency, and they knew that he was guilty. They knew he had confessed to some degree, and they still did this. But Drake's mom, a lovely woman who I stay in contact with this day, she came to me at the time and she said, would you help me with my speech for the judge? And I said, of course. And I did.
Dan Schneider's fishing for the Nickelodeon's Kid Choice Award for the best fake crying. It feels super forced and super insincere. Him tearing up while talking about this story. This is him talking about the Drake and Brian Peck case, where he mentions 41 people wrote those letters and it baffled him. And then Drake's mom actually asked him to help her write her piece, which he did. And that leads me to a question of, if you knew all this, why didn't you back up Drake Bell? The way it's described, Brian Peck had all of these people in his corner, but Drake really only had his mom and his brother. Why weren't you more involved then? Like, I imagine that could have been extraordinarily helpful. But regardless, this interview doesn't do anything to change my perception of Dan Schneider, or anyone else's, really, I imagine, because it's still nothing. This isn't really an interview, it's just a PR piece, disguised as an interview. It's just more despicable garbage here. But yeah, anyway, I wanted to talk about this a little bit. Again, the docuseries is called Quiet on Set, it's out now, and yeah, just kind of wanted to go over it a little bit. That's it. See ya. Boy, oh boy, do I have some good news for you today. It's time for a little holly jolly celebration because Santa Claus came early with the gifts. This loser has finally been arrested. Now, I'm sure none of you recognize this guy. This is probably not a face any of you have seen unless you're a woman in New York, and in that case, this is probably a face that you swiped left on Tinder for. But this is the face of the man known as Squeeze Bins, the infamous street racer who's blown up on Instagram and YouTube over the last few months. This isn't like a really stunning revelation. He just looks like a normal asshole. It's not like some kind of big twist like it's Bruce Wayne behind the Batman mask or anything. But I actually recently talked about Squeeze because he went on Neon's stream and did his street racing stunt maneuvers and ended up getting in a hit and run live on Kick. So of course I was making fun of him and tossing tomatoes, shouting boo. I think it is so incredibly lame to do the kind of shit that Squeezebins was, where he'd just go out on public roads and put everyone's lives in danger around him, just driving fast and recklessly for his content. And this is a criminal who is addicted to attention, which has to be the worst combination for a human being ever. If you are a criminal, the last thing that you would want is a lot of eyes on you. But this guy, Jiminy Christmas, he was absorbing it like a sponge in a sink. This guy was more addicted to attention than a heroin addict is to the needle. This guy couldn't get enough of it, so he took every opportunity imaginable to promote himself. So this was always inevitable. He was either going to get arrested or get himself or someone else killed. Luckily, he was arrested before the second thing happened. Now, before really diving into the weeds of the arrest here and everything around it, I want to show you a little bit more of the lore to Squeeze, so you can get a big taste of the cringe that is Squeezebins.
You mix danger, but there's also other people at risk when you do that. Innocent civilians. So what do you think about the element of danger for that?
I've been doing this since like real shit since I was 9. I used to take my dad's car out and I used to just bug out. I've been doing this for so long now that I feel like I did as a professional.
This guy must have found a moron potion at some point in his life and he has not been able to break the curse. The effects still linger. He did an interview with Tommy G, a very popular video, over 8 million views here, where he's revealing some like pretty sensitive information really, all while acknowledging that he's one of the most wanted people in the area by the authorities. How stupid can you be? He's going on a press tour here to promote himself while actively engaging in illegal activity and putting himself in as many places as possible, giving authorities all the evidence they could ever require. He also has the gall to call himself a professional. He is a talented driver, no doubt, but the only thing he's a professional at is not dying. That's it. He's going out there and gambling with everyone's lives and his own, and nothing beyond that. He's not a professional at anything, he's just currently surviving. Is all.
That's how I drive. There's been incidents where I've gone out with people and they tried keeping up with me and they've crashed.
How fast do you go?
I mean, there's been a video on live where I've gone one-handed 210 miles an hour.
Filming with one hand, driving with the other, 210 miles an hour.
Yes.
That's insane. Did that scare you?
Not really, just to build up a tolerance of just speed.
Do you feel like the police watch your Instagram?
100%, they do.
Let's pop in the
100% they do, which is why I'm doing all of these interviews to help them in their pursuit. It reminds me of this classic story where the police put out a post on Facebook asking for information about a woman who was an accessory to a murder, and the woman they were looking for actually commented on the post asking about the reward money that was being offered, and so they were able to find her because of that. Squeeze and that lady are two sides of the same coin, just pure degenerate dummy. Anyway, though, he's finally been arrested after an incident that happened back in April where Squeeze allegedly made an illegal turn and proceeded to elude the police at high speeds. Then officers found videos of him committing various traffic violations throughout the tri-state area. Apparently the NYPD did a little fusion dance and a fist bump with another department, and they worked together and found Squeeze because he was wanted on other charges including burglary, theft, conspiracy, and more. I was reading a couple of other reports where he allegedly punched a 20-year-old man in a deli. So I'm not exactly sure what all went down there, but ultimately it ended with him getting arrested and the NYPD commissioner taking a victory lap here and dunking on him on Twitter by saying Squeezebins is in custody thanks to New York's finest. And then he posted a picture of his Instagram with the word apprehended slapped across it there, as if it's some kind of like busted thing in Grand Theft Auto. So Antonio going from Squeezebins to Squeezemins here, being shoulder to shoulder squeezed into a cell with other dudes, hopefully. But there's no telling if he's actually going to face real prison time. It seems he's been released because after all of this, he did make an Instagram post about how he can't go live on there. So then he made a Twitch account, which I can't find. I do see a Squeezebins account there, but there's nothing on it, and I think that's just an impersonator trying to capitalize off of this. His original Instagram account appears to be banned, and the only one I can find is another one that appears to be an impersonator, but maybe it really is him. I have no fucking clue. I also can't help but giggle that he decided to make a Twitch account instead of a Kick account. Like, not even this blatant criminal who has already broadcast crimes on Kick wants to make an account over there and stream on purpose. He still decided to go to Twitch first and foremost. That's kind of crazy to me because Kick is the home of broadcasting illegal activity. They don't do shit about it there. They give you like a subtle thumbs up because it's driving more traffic to their site. That should be home turf for Antonio here. Squeeze bins would be hoisted on their shoulders like a golden goose. And yet he still said, ew, I'll just go to Twitch instead. That boggles my mind a little bit. I did laugh when I read that he made a Twitch account. I wish they'd make an example out of him here. He's not like the only one doing this kind of content, the lone alpha wolf or anything here. This is a pretty popular niche of content online where people just put on a helmet or wear some kind of mask and then just commit crimes. And like, taunt authorities driving around recklessly, endangering a bunch of innocent people's lives on the road for content and views on Instagram and YouTube and shit. He is far from the only one doing this. So I think if they would actually give a fuck here and pursue real serious charges and actual repercussions for his actions, it could help to dissuade others from pursuing this. At least I would hope. I would really like them to not play softball here and actually do something about this. He has been caught. Hand in the cookie jar here. He has all of this evidence that he himself has compiled about his crimes and how he's not remorseful and will always continue to do it, most likely. Why the fuck would you just give him a slap on the wrist? It's also more than the dangerous driving. He apparently beats people in delis, at least according to some of the reports here. Like, this is not someone that they should just be playing like patty cake with here and saying, hey, don't do it again. All right, now get out of here. Come on, scram. Like, this is something that they should be taking far, far more seriously. I really hope that his release is a temporary thing as they build up a meteor case against him, so that way he'll actually get thrown in the slammer. There's just no excuse for it at all. Just going onto public roads and compromising everyone's safety for your content, I just think it truly super sucks. And I think the fans of this kind of content are extraordinarily annoying. So there are still like squeeze bins enthusiasts that are losing sleep over this, thinking that he's done nothing wrong. Nobody got hurt, even though in his interview with Tommy G, he says that people have tried to emulate him and they have crashed. So people have literally gotten hurt. He also did get involved in a hit and run on stream, but whatever, I suppose. Just go ahead and ignore reality here and continue to live in fucking delusional Narnia land. But, you know, hey, they're squeeze bins guys. Of course they wear diapers and eat glue. Is what it is, I guess. But I'm just super happy that he's finally been arrested, and I can only hope that they do throw the book at him. So yeah, anyway, that's really about it. So yeah. It's beginning to feel a lot like Florida with the story we're about to talk about right now. A police officer in Maryland was cheating on his wife, and he was making out with his mistress in public while on the job, while across the street from a playground that had children actively playing on it. And then after they were done exchanging saliva and smooching, they go into the back of the squad car together. And I'll be honest with you, sports fans, I don't think they were going back there for a game of chess or to exchange any kind of information, unless we're talking about genetic information. I'm pretty sure they were steaming ham back there, engaging in a little coitus. The whole situation is downright diabolical. Not only were they shamelessly making out in public for all to see while the officer was on the job, but then they go back into the squad car together to fuck, while they are parked across the street from a playground that has kids actively playing on it. It's so yucky. Now, I went over it on stream, so I'll play some of those clips, but there is actually a lot of developments from this story. So the officer has been suspended for this, and his wife actually posted on Facebook when she was made aware of this whole situation. And the woman that the officer was cheating on his wife with actually came forward and said, "I've done nothing wrong. I'm going to continue living my life doing what I'm doing. In my heart, in his heart, I know that I've done nothing." He knows, Paula being his wife, "I've done nothing wrong. God is my higher power." God has abandoned you after this act of sin. You broke 11 of the 10 commandments with this act alone. You got your donut glazed by a married man on the job, in public, in front of children. That is downright diabolical. And you have the gall to say that you did nothing wrong? Mind-blowing. Now, she did say more about this situation, which I'll get to in a moment, but I want to play you the footage first so you can be caught up to speed on the lore here on what unfolded. But, again, in a nutshell, basically, she got her spaghetti meatballed by a married officer on the job in the back of their squad car, in public, middle of the day, across from a playground that actively had children playing. It is gross.
See here from last night are being investigated. It appears to show the uniformed officer
paid vacation. Yeah.
Get in the back seat, you can see here, of this cruiser. Now, a man taped it all with his phone at a neighborhood park right next to Oxon Hill High School.
What the fuck? Why there? He slabbed up outside of a high school to have sex with her in his car. What a weirdo. I still love that everything addresses X as formerly known as Twitter, or just straight up Twitter. Such a disastrous idea to try and change it to fucking X of all things. I was like, oh my god, there's kids around here at the time, and all the time, and he didn't care, and it was not dark. He doesn't respect the uniform, he doesn't respect the police car, I can't believe that. FOP89 has been made aware of the videos circulating on the internet. We have no information as to the investigation of the videos or the officer involved, as that's handled by the department's Internal Affairs Division. We ask that our officer be given the same consideration that any other person would ask for, and that you reserve judgment until all the facts are known and videos are put into context. He is on video making out, literally like sucking the lips off of her face, and then they go into the back seat of his police cruiser. What do you think happened back there? They didn't just go back there to keep smooching. What the fuck do you mean? In what context? What context? It's all just right there. He's just openly making out with her in public across the high school. Across from the high school. He was investigating her mouth. Yeah, I guess she had a bomb in her pussy. And his cock was the only thing that could defuse it. He actually ended up saving the whole school. It's like a speed situation, and you had to keep your thrusts above 4 pumps per second in order to keep the bomb from going off in her vagina. That's a crime, right? Like 100%? Having sex in broad daylight outside of a high school? Like, I guess you're in your car, but it's not like it's private. You're still in front of the high school in public having sex. Body cam footage? Oh wait, yeah. They need to release the body cam footage. Maybe that'll be all the context we need. Perhaps it was some kind of deep sting operation and they go into the back seat in order to exchange information or something. I don't know. I really want to see the body cam footage now. We need the context. Can't find where to get Critical's comics at? Oh, badegg.co. First OnlyFans with police POV. That would be big. Well, since he got suspended, so maybe he will need to turn to OnlyFans now. Let me see what the rest of the report says.
Arlette, and this is not his first suspension. Now, the incident happened right here in this parking lot at South.
Not his first suspension? Is it for the same thing? How many times does he fuck women on the job in his patrol car outside of a school?
This viral video. A Prince George's County police officer appears to be kissing a woman. Then they both get into.
What do you mean appears to be? Hold on, let me get the unblurred version. What do you mean appears to be? It's not like they were just like pulling a quarter out from behind her ear or something. Like, that was the sloppiest makeout session ever. That's like 15 brewskis deep at a dive bar, and you're like blurred making out with someone and just slobbering all over them. Where's the non-blurred version? Because that leaves nothing to the imagination. He was conducting an oral swab. Yeah. You can even hear kids playing. God, that's fucking revolting. Now that you've seen the evidence here, which is pretty substantial evidence, let's go back into more of what she said. Luckily, she was kind enough to explain that this was not a one-night stand. She said, "That's the main story, that this isn't a little thing. Of course, since he's a police officer, it looks bad. But I just want people to understand that this was not a one-night stand." I just love that that's her priority. Like, this is the number one thing she's addressing. Like, okay, listen, everyone. You know, stop all this hoopla. I'll set the record straight. This is not a one-night stand. We've actually been seeing each other for multiple years now behind his wife's back. You know, so get that straight. I'm tired of rumors circulating. The most important thing is to know that this is not a one-night stand. In fact, he cheats often with me. And I guess publicly, too. What's so exciting? He's a cop. I'm a civilian. We got caught. It sucks, but this will pass. She also has a kid of her own, and she just doesn't seem to care about this at all. She's reacting to this the same way I react to finding out I'm out of ketchup. Just like a, geez, darn, oh well. Like, I would have expected something a little more here. Also, this isn't the first time the officer was suspended. In 2016, he was indicted for child abuse after he allegedly spanked a girlfriend's 3-year-old son so much that the boy lost consciousness. But then it was later ruled that the allegations were unfounded. But the mistress here said that the incidents in this current scandal don't get in the way of her feelings for the officer. Now, you know, I don't think you needed any more evidence that this might not be a good guy. But I think this is an important little tidbit of lore to have around this officer. But yeah, I just found this to be a pretty wacky story here that I wanted to talk about a little bit. That's it. So yeah. I'm sure you've all heard the expression, fake it till you make it. But today I want to take a look at what happens when all you do is fake it without ever making it. You end up like this loser we're about to take a look at today. A guy who has become a complete parody of self-confidence, but without any level of self-awareness. He portrays himself as an extremely successful, extremely rich guy that would have no problem at all stealing your wife right out from under your nose. It's beautiful stuff that he talks about.
Take you, for example, and me, and we both pull up and we go to your girl. Odds are I'm gonna take that bitch. If you compared me to you, you're not gonna win that battle.
Bro's out here rocking that man dark body type and acting like he for some reason be able to take your girl just because he rolled up in a rented McLaren. This guy's entire personality is money. He's like a real life Mr. Krabs, but with even skinnier arms. So he believes because he has money that he's entitled to women and women find him irresistible. You can tell by looking at him this was no jock in high school. This wasn't exactly the prom king. Yet he pretends that he is now. He talks about how successful his businesses are now. He has a 9-figure business. He has all of this money. Though I don't necessarily take him at his word because I just don't believe a fucking word this guy says.
So the next time you think that your girl's on lock, I got the keys to the castle, motherfucker.
I have no doubt he spent hours trying to cook up that finishing line right there. The keys to the castle. Now, why I don't believe him about the success of his business is because the only thing he shows that's worth money is his car, the McLaren. He's made like 1,000 shorts about how much money he spends filling up a McLaren's tank, or how often he drives his McLaren, and that is the only thing worth a lot of money that he's ever shown, at least that I've seen. So that leads me to believe that it is 100% rented, or he really dumped all of his money into that one vehicle in order to portray himself as a successful businessman. He did a little house tour, and it's very humble living. It's a nice place, but it's not exactly like a super mega mansion you would expect someone with a 9-figure business to own. And he's not wearing a ton of ice or anything like that, and he's clearly a guy who loves to flex because he's always talking about his wealth and his success, yet the only thing you can ever see from that is that McLaren. Now this may be like a tinfoil hat conspiracy, but I truly just think he either rents it for these videos, or even more depressingly, drained all of his finances to make that big purchase with that belief that this car would be enough to convince people that he has a lot of money. Like, he specced all of his points into delusion here and is just letting it rip. Like, this McLaren means I'm successful. I gotta fake it till I make it. This is how I do it.
Here's why the gym does not matter. I'm tired of guys that are like, oh, you know, I'm going to the gym, I'm trying to get fit. I feel like I have a pretty decent tone.
Did Douchebag Slender Man get you with that jump scare in the beginning? So this is his rant about why going to the gym makes you a fucking idiot. Because he's skinny and insecure. So you going to the gym is offensive to him. It's pretty pathetic. You don't want to go to the gym, that's fine. Buddy's out here built like 2 French fries duct taped to an uncooked spaghetti noodle. And if you're happy with your body there, that's absolutely fine. But why shit on people that are going to the gym? He makes a whole rant about why it's stupid to do it, which is laughable.
I don't need to go to the gym, because you pull up to the gym making less than 10K a month, pulling up in your bullshit fucking Corolla, and I pull up in my McLaren. It's not even a contest, dude. No one gives a fuck about your muscles. Most of the guys that go to the gym, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you're fucking stupid. All that pre-workout that you're taking is making you more stupider.
So unless you're making over 10K a month, you don't have the right to go to the gym? Like, he's not even making a point. Like, he's not even saying, like, the time you spend in the gym, you could be spent learning how to drop ship things from Alibaba. Like, he's not even, like, trying to make some kind of point. He's just like, you're stupid for going to the gym because you're making less than 10K a month. He actually sounds like he's about to cry. You're stupid with your dumb muscles, dumb muscle man. Like, what in the crazy insecurity are you going through right now to think that this was a good idea?
Here's why you gotta break up with your girlfriend if you're not making 6 figures a year. Brutal honest truth is that girls need a man who can protect and provide for them. If you're not making at least 10K a month, how the fuck are you gonna protect and provide for your girl?
Man's out here boofing crazy pills. You don't need to be making 10K a month in order to protect your girlfriend. You have absolutely no meat on your bones whatsoever. The only foe you're equipped to handle is if the gingerbread men from Shrek tried to attack your girl, then maybe you could fend them off. But everyone above the age of 18 and weighing more than 100 pounds, it's going to be a tough tussle. And making more than 10K a month doesn't enable you to magically protect her better. If someone's making a ruckus and you're trying to stop whatever's going on, the amount of money you have isn't going to do anything for you. You can't just be like throwing money at it like, get away from her, you scallywag. She's with me and I make more than 10K a month. Here's money. Like throwing it all over the place to get them away. Like, it just doesn't make sense. It's just pure delusion. Now, I guess, like, he's not wrong. If you make more money, you can provide more, I suppose. But what the fuck does that have to do with anything? So if you don't make 100K at least a year, break up with your girl.
It's cool that she's sticking with you right now because you're trying to build yourself. But at the same time, if some guy like me comes up and gets in the way, she's going to choose me over you because I can provide more. In this feast or famine world, women will always pick the best case scenario because they don't want to get hurt. And you being broke as fuck definitely hurts.
What hurts more than being broke is being broke but pretending you're not, like this guy. It's so... I don't know if he actually believes the shit he's selling or if it's only to try and get people to, like, sign up to courses or anything like that. I'm really not sure if he actually, like, loves the smell of his own farts or if it all is an act. I couldn't tell you. Either way, it's to further the goal of making money off the back of desperate people who see this and think that this guy is actually super successful and is trying to give them the secrets to success. It's all just another guru scam, but... I find him particularly entertaining because he's doing the bare minimum. He didn't even bother to invest in his own body to look the part, so he's not in good shape. He didn't bother to even really pretend to have a lot of money aside from that McLaren that he shows from time to time. And he's just saying things that other gurus say. And I don't know if he's actually found real success. I know he has quite a bit of botted engagement that I've seen online, at least as of everything I've been able to research from it. But other than that, I don't know if anyone even believes his act. I would be surprised if they did, because he's very bad at it. Also, just to explain why there's driving underneath his video, it's because it's a TikTok thing where everyone needs perpetual stimulation, constant jingling keys, so for any video where it's talking, they play like Subway Surfers or anything engaging a game underneath to keep viewers' attention. It's pathetic. TikTok has absolutely rotted brains where people need, like, absolute activity at every single moment. They can't just listen to talking on there.
So if you always wonder what dating an entrepreneur looks like, this is what the fuck it looks like. I don't cook, I don't clean, I got whiteboards all over the place. My setup's there, this is like my sanctuary. No one fucks with me here. As far as a fridge, it's pretty fucking awful. So I got beer, Happy Dads, Gatorade. Oh dude, Bel Air bottle, champagne. I got these Dunkin' Donut iced coffees. And then for dinner, I'll go to the pier and like have dinner. I will never fucking cook. This will never be used. I don't even know why I have a fucking mitt.
And here's the look at the house I mentioned. It's clearly a cozy spot. It's a nice house. It's not a super elaborate house. This is not a mega mansion or anything like that. So if he's a super successful 9-figure guy who loves to flex everything, why would he be living in a house like this? It doesn't make any sense. That doesn't really track. I also love the whole whiteboard thing. He probably watched one video on, like, it's important to write down your goals or whatever as an entrepreneur. So he bought like 9 whiteboards and hung them all up and filled them with gibberish nonsense. I tried zooming in on the frame where it focuses on a whiteboard, but I couldn't make it out because his handwriting looks like he wrote it while he was getting hit by an earthquake, so it's completely illegible for the most part. but I'm pretty sure one of them was agility, and he had a check mark next to it, meaning he must have done like agility drills, I suppose. I could be reading it incorrectly, but I'm almost positive it said just agility on one of them. Maybe it's like RuneScape goals, and he's like skilling right now, so he's working on agility, and he checked it off once he got like a certain amount of XP. I don't know. Very goofy regardless, though.
Here's just a couple of signs that your girlfriend might be cheating. Number one is she's not texting you as readily as you've used to.
Easiest way to tell if your girl is cheating is, did she ever find that you bought this guy's course? If she did, she's absolutely cheating. No doubt. And you deserve it. Why the fuck would you buy a course from a guy like this? It's so embarrassing. Like, he actually just went to like WikiHow and just started copying articles on like how to tell if your girl is cheating. 7 life hacks for that. And then he just starts regurgitating them here. But anyway, I could go on and on. There's so many embarrassing shorts he's made, but there's no reason to just keep going over it. I just wanted to showcase some of his better ones here and talk about it a little bit. That's about it. So yeah. In life, there's always going to be that level of self-doubt and insecurity that someone will experience at one point or another. It's just part of the human condition, where you ask yourself, am I good enough? Maybe I'm just a fucking loser. And yeah, maybe you are a fucking loser. But today I'm going to show you a man that has reinvented what it means to be pathetic. This guy has achieved a level of loser that science didn't even think possible. So rest assured, no matter how terrible you think you are, you will never even be in the same dimension as this homunculus I'm about to show you. The only man to master all 4 elements of douchebag, perpetually striking a goofy power stance that he saw on WikiHow when he googled how to look intimidating, berating and assaulting food service workers, threatening lawsuits and jail, and of course, the most powerful element of being a douchebag, a pair of sunglasses. A douchebag without sunglasses is like cereal without milk. And only this man here was chosen to master all 4 of these elements, the avatar of douchebag.
In fucking jail for robbery and stealing stuff. So she needs to get the fuck out of here before I get her put in jail for the rest of her life. Sir, you are on camera right now?
There's just so much that happens in this short, less than 20-second video here. Somehow this man was able to speedrun, making everyone hate him. Like, he set an 80% record for the shortest amount of time it takes for everybody to hate you. So Johnny Bravo with an eating disorder here storms into Burger King, and we don't have the crucial lore that built up to this point. We're missing the context on exactly what's happening, which is unfortunately opened the fucking septic tank for these shitty journalists to just make things up. Biggest culprit is Daily Mail, which is just a giant piece of shit in the first place. They took this story and wiped their filthy ass with it. They said the reason for this meltdown was because the chicken nuggets were too spicy. And yeah, while I have no doubt this guy is a giant pussy who would start crying if some mild salsa accidentally dripped on his tortilla chips, this meltdown wasn't over chicken nuggets being too spicy. So the whole story, the background they built up here, the fan fiction they wrote around this guy, the mythos, is just entirely wrong. It did happen at a Burger King, that much is correct. This embarrassing meltdown is on the grand stage of meltdowns, Burger King. So it's like the fucking Broadway of meltdowns. Burger King and McDonald's, those are the 2 best out there for that. But it didn't happen because of spiciness. It happened, and I don't even know why they bothered changing this, because the real story is just as good as their clickbait garbage headline. The reason it happened is because he didn't get as many chicken nuggets as he was used to getting from Burger King. So this guy is a seasoned veteran of chicken nugget hoarding from Burger King, and one of the workers there must have hid one of those sacred chicken nuggets from him, and he counts each and every one of them. He came in there fucking primed and ready. He fucking stormed the gates and was giving her an earful.
In fucking jail for robbery and stealing stuff. So she needs to get the fuck out of here before I get her put in jail for the rest of her life. Sir, you are on camera right now?
I understand chicken nuggets can be serious business, but this man really elevated that shit. He treated it like some kind of holy artifact. This is why the opening monologue says, can't fucking count except for robbery and stealing stuff. He's accusing her of stealing his chicken nuggets, and it's a robbery, which is why he then says, I'm gonna throw her in jail for the rest of her life if she doesn't get out of here. I cannot even imagine what he was thinking at this point, as if that's like a real charge you could bring up, some kind of felony, shorting someone 1 chicken nugget. Like, what did he expect? Like, is some kind of high crime here where it'd go to court and he'd be like, Your Honor, no, you're not understanding. I was missing a chicken nugget that I, as an American red-blooded patriot, paid for. The jury gasps, missing nugget, and the judge swings the gavel. 100 years in prison for the Burger King worker, and then everyone claps. Like, this guy treats this fucking thing like some kind of Tumblr fan fiction in his head, I imagine. It's such a dumb goddamn idea. And then when he's told he's on camera, he makes the worst possible decision you can make when you're told you're on camera. He fucking slaps the worker, which is an actual crime. He just assaults the man, who was nothing but kind to him. He was honestly looking out for him like, bro, stop melting down, you're really embarrassing yourself. And then he just doubles down on this shit and slaps him for no fucking reason. And it was a bitch-ass slap, too. I'm something of a connoisseur when it comes to slapping after all the slapping tournaments I've watched. I've seen professional slapping. This was some garbage shit. This is a slap that would be delivered behind a dumpster during a drug deal gone wrong between two people that are just now learning about drugs. This was not a slap from a veteran, and it was pathetic. Unfortunately, the worker had glasses on, so it made the slap look more impactful than it was by having the glasses kind of like jiggle off. But it wasn't a very good textbook form slap. Really, this whole thing was just a whole bunch of fucking garbage, and I think unanimously we can all agree that this guy here is probably the biggest douchebag of 2020, and it's going to be hard to beat. I really thought this could be motivational for somebody that's maybe going through a hard time right now or struggling with their self-image. You will never be as bad as this guy unless you actively go out of your way to try and be a bigger loser than this guy. So just take that. Realize that. Look, I'm not the worst out there. Look at this guy. And then that should help you see things a little more clearly and maybe be a little more positive. But anyway, that's about it. See ya. Last month, a group of scammers successfully stole $240 million from a single victim. But their success was short-lived. This group of dweebs lasted about as long as Concord did because within a month, they were caught and assets frozen, 2 of them already being indicted, and it's all thanks to Zach XBT. This is someone I've talked about before. This guy is like Jason Bourne. If he's on your tail, your goose is cooked. Zach XBT is a scammer's worst nightmare. Him and CoffeeZilla I have the utmost respect for. They do incredible work with holding these pieces of shit accountable and catching them. And Zach XBT spearheaded this crazy investigation where he got everything. Like, he has probably more information on these guys than their own parents do. He's probably got all their fucking report cards from 2nd grade till they graduated. It is wild. And there's also video footage of them committing the crime. These goobers got the biblical smackdown put on them by Zach here. And since there's video recording of this, we get to hear from them. And holy shit, you get to hear just how sad and pathetic these dweebs are. And Zach also got like some of their messages that they exchanged. And one guy tried to use all of the money he stole to get girls, and yet continued to get rejected by all of them, at least from what we can see. It is unbelievable how pathetic they are. Anyway, here's kind of like the general breakdown of what happened. On August 19th of 2024, they targeted a Genesis creditor by calling his Google support via spoof number to compromise the account, calling his Gemini support claiming the account is hacked, social engineered victim into resetting 2-factor and sending Gemini funds to a compromised wallet, and then got the victim to use AnyDesk to share screen and leaked private keys from the Bitcoin core. He then also has some of the messages they exchanged about all of it. Reading through their messages, you can see that it's pretty much all social engineering. This is what hacking actually looks like for the most part. Very rarely is there a case where it's someone with fucking 5 keyboards surrounding them that they're typing on, injecting some kind of worm and code into the mainframe to hack, like the way it's portrayed in the movies with like a turbo hacker man with sunglasses on typing away furiously. Usually it's someone just pretending like, oh yes, I'm Phil Cheeseburger on behalf of Microsoft support, you're compromised. That's usually how it goes. So like reading through it, what you can do is, please just take a picture of the last 4 of the private key. You can crop the rest out and just please take the picture for now. You don't have to send it anywhere. So like they're just giving lines that they can feed this guy to convince him to do what they need in order to steal his money. They're basically just choosing dialogue tree options in a Bethesda game to try and steal people's shit.
No way. No fucking way.
I see it, bro. It's on the blockchain. It's on the blockchain, bro.
No fucking way, nigga.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
No fucking way.
Yo! We're done! We're done! I'm spazzing out!
Do you know how much money that is?
It's a quarter of a bill. Probably.
Spent 3 ways or is it 4 ways? That's
It's
pretty funny. Pretty 10 pretty funny.
I'm gonna lose my shit.
I can legitimately hear the Cheeto dust and fedora that the guy's wearing who keeps saying, probably a pretty penny. Probably like 10 pretty pennies. He sounds so fucking congested. Like I'm congested out the wazoo right now. But even I don't sound that bad, I don't think. Good lord, brother. Holy. Dude just sounds like a wedgie magnet. It's actually baffling to me that they pulled this off and then had all of this evidence that they themselves gathered against themselves. Like, this is a private recording of them. You steal $240 million and you leave the biggest possible digital footprints. That's mind-boggling. Zach XBT claims that he has over an hour and a half of footage of these fucking goobers. There's also times where they slipped up revealing full names and other important information that Zach was able to gather. And the one I really want to focus on is Malone. Zach got some really good information on Malone because this guy loved to flaunt all of this shit. So he gets all this money and immediately starts spending $250 to $500K a night and giving out Birkin bags to random girls. There were girls on TikTok that were walking away from his parties just carrying Birkin bags, and I guarantee he didn't even get so much as a kiss on the cheek for it. This guy was blowing $500,000 a night to try and get laid, and I guarantee he's still a virgin. He even bought his crush a pink Lamborghini as well as 3 Birkin bags to try and lure her in and make her fall in love with him because of his money, and it doesn't work. He reaches out saying, I got you a present, we'll call it an early birthday gift, a thank you gift, I appreciate you so much, heart. And all she says is, I am taken once again, and he says, I don't care. Malone, I know you care. Dude probably fell to his knees, crying into his hands, all this money, and he still cannot get a girl to be interested in him. Seems like he's using every doubloon that he stole to try and buy a girl's heart, and it is not working for him. She just shuts it down immediately, reminding him that she has a boyfriend. Like, that's so good. She doesn't even say thank you, by the way. This guy must actually be a huge nuisance, like a big piece of shit. She doesn't even bother to try and thank him. He must always try and use money as leverage on people or some shit. Because she doesn't even entertain the idea for a second. That is so good. There is a part of me that hopes that she did at least still take the keys from him for the pink Lambo and then have the boyfriend reach out telling Malone thanks for the car. That would be the cherry on top. Now, Malone is one of the 2 that have already been indicted, so we get to take a look at this Casanova right here. This is the guy. We get to put a face to this pathetic douchebag. He was very public with all of his money and all of his spending too. So Zach XBT actually pulled up his Instagram and some of the photos on it where he'd flaunt the money that he stole and what he spent it on. Here's one from his Instagram page, which is unfortunately private now, so I can't peruse to see what other bangers might have been on there. But I love how even in this photo, Malone is like the least visible person there. His 2 friends are front and center and Malone is in the background. Even in his own Instagram post, he is not like the main focus. This guy must have just been like a perpetual fucking loser, even in his own friend group. He gets hundreds of millions of dollars here, and still they don't respect him and don't care about him. They just use him for his money, and he is fine with that. That's the impression I get. Here's some more photos from his partying where he'd blow hundreds of thousands a night and buy girls Birkin bags. Anyway, though, let's talk about some of the others. So Zach XBT identified pretty much everybody here, so another one that also got indicted is Box. Now, Zach was able to find not only the information on these people, but also where all the funds were coming through, which led to a lot of the funds being frozen, as I understand it. I highly recommend you go to Zach XBT's actual Twitter page if you want like a full in-depth breakdown on how he did all of this. It's extremely impressive, and I'm too stupid to fully understand all the ways that he was able to pull this off. But what I do understand is that Zach fucked him. Like, he absolutely went wild on him. And now 2 of them have been indicted, and I think it's only a matter of time before the rest will also face justice too. Overall, though, after reading through it all, I'm pretty surprised at how effective this was from these snot-nosed weirdos. They didn't do anything particularly new with this. It seems like pretty standard by-the-book social engineering with the Google support phone call, that kind of shit, that's something people have done for years. The method by which they actually took the Bitcoin is pretty different. Like, I haven't seen that done before, but to actually get in the door through this social engineering method is something that has been done for so long. I am just kind of surprised that it still worked this well for them with someone that had that much money. You would think that they probably wouldn't fall for something like that, but what's been proven time and time again is that just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean that you're super fucking smart. So they got very lucky that their victim played along, even gave them screen control, and they took that money. And the victim is very lucky that Zach XBT was on the case to catch all the people here and maybe at some point even get the money back. But right now, the thing to celebrate is that Zach XBT has done an incredible job with this investigation, identifying all of the scammers here and getting them to face justice. Hopefully the rest of them will face it as well, so they'll join Malone and Box. And yeah, that's really about it. See ya. It's a new day, which means new clowns to make fun of in the TCG community. Well, they're not really in the TCG community. That's not fair to say. These scalpers are just germs that infect it and poison it. Point is, I'm shooting spitballs at scalpers again. We're making fun of more of these dumb assholes that keep going out and just making fools of themselves.
Dude. You can't get in front of me. No, you went in front of me, though. But you went in front of me, and those were mine. I have 2 hands.
Her gluttony insatiable. Her greed has rotted her mind. So this woman here is even boxing out someone else in line who's trying to reach in and grab product because she's literally taking all of it. And it straight up does look like a basketball play. Dude's going up for the rebound to get his paws on that precious Pokemon product. She is boxing out and actually driving him back, and he's got his arms up, you know, like he's trying not to draw a foul for over the back or something. And the whole time she's berating him, just chirping about how he wasn't in front of her, thus he's got her product. That's hers. She has 2 hands. So, this is definitely someone's mom, and I would be ashamed if this was my mother caught on camera here. This would be worse than if my mom was just cheating on my father and they got a divorce or something. This would actually hurt me more if I saw my parents engaging in behavior like this. It is not your product, lady, just because you got there before he did. There really needs to be strictly enforced buy limits per individual here, because this just keeps happening over and over and over again. These scalping turds have proven that they can't exist in a civilized society and can't be trusted with even basic human decency in the face of Pokemon product in their vicinity. It's so bad that now stores are putting signs out like this about disruptive behavior and how annoying it is that they keep leaving chairs and shit in line overnight. Just reading that sign seems like something you'd find in a fucking elementary school classroom about the rules there. But this is for adults. Adults that are like the minds of toddlers, except far more aggressive and their behavior far, far worse. So they even have to say at the end of the sign that if you don't follow these rules, we're going to delay selling you the Pokemon product. Which, I mean, that's like 9/11 to scalpers. Like, anytime Pokemon product is delayed or, heaven help us, out of stock, all hell breaks loose. They start fighting and fucking. We've seen multiple times guns now. It's just pure pandemonium and chaos when it comes to Pokemon. And like I said, there's a lot of signs popping up at places that are hot spots for these scalpers to camp out because it's just so out of control. They also fight in line constantly, too.
Don't play with me. That's typically how. Don't play with me. All right, go ahead. You'll be all fine. No, you're right. I'll be nice, okay?
I'll be nice, she says, as she continues to fully clear the shelves of Pokemon in front of all of the other people that are waiting there for it. Now, of course, my heart doesn't really break for those also in line, because I have no doubt they too are scalpers as well, who are just now getting salty and upset that she's beaten them to the punch and she's the one that's getting the kit and caboodle here of all the product. But still, just degenerate garbage here from someone's mama. Mommy out here is now grabbing all of this Pokemon product to try and flip on fucking Facebook Marketplace or whatnot or something.
No, because that upset me. Don't upset me, please. That was very rude. Now I'm gonna pull you.
Come on, go. Go ahead. Why are you waiting?
I know how to
it don't go like that.
1, 2, buckle motherfucking shoe.
Yeah, now you know shit's about to pop off. It's getting wild. She just dropped the 1, 2, buckle my shoe. We've entered the end game. There will be no survivors now. It actually grinds my gears so fucking much, just greases my cheeks, listening to her feel so self-righteous, like she's got the moral high ground, she's the moral authority, like, you are very rude. I'm just here shopping, buying all of this Pokemon product to ensure none of you have it, and you're very rude for trying to take one. You're not allowed. They're all mine. Don't you know that? I was here first, so thus, I am entitled to every single one of these, in fact. And lecturing them about it, it's so annoying. It's so unbelievably cringe.
Yeah, well, that was very rude. Like, I look. 1. Okay? All right, you're good. 2.
But they're just standing there and just letting her take all the shit.
But that's called a line, dude.
Yeah, but you have to move though. You can't stand right there.
Says who?
Says sane human beings that you shouldn't just be camping in that spot, taking every single product there while others are actively waiting for it as well, you greedy asshole. You greedy parasite. I really wish they just went into her cart and started taking her products. They're not hers. Just because she puts them in the cart doesn't mean that they're hers. And I have appreciated the trend where some individuals have gone into scalpers' carts and just started taking some of it and walking out with it. Because what are they going to do? They don't have some legal right to it. It is not theirs. So, I wish they had just started taking from her cart. Like a scene out of the fucking Walking Dead where they start like reaching into the intestines and eating them. I wish the other scalpers just came in there and started cannibalizing her cart there. Taking all of her Pokemon products since she cleared the shelves. It's just so dumb, man. It's so out of control. And further evidence of that is just how many ancillary scalper-adjacent things are being spawned here from this Pokemon hysteria. So this is the Machamp's Mentorship Cohort 2, so this is the sequel, the Electric Boogaloo here. They're coming back around for second breakfast, so what this is a program that you pay thousands of dollars for, and they'll teach you how to make money off Pokemon cards. A few good decisions in the Pokemon space can compound into thousands of dollars or subscribers. We can help you make more of those good decisions sooner and more often. For the low, low price of $2,500, by the way, if you want their masterclass, which I know might sound like an alarmingly high amount of money, but look at the value you get from it. You're losing money not signing up, really. This is a beginner program designed to turn beginners into intermediates in under 12 weeks rather than 12 plus months, drastically reducing analysis paralysis and known mistakes that cost time and money. The topic selection and depth may feel too basic for folks who have vended more than 5 card shows and or have already sold over 50k of Pokemon cards in a 12-month period. So no doubt this is going to jumpstart your business in the Pokemon space. This is going to send you right to the fucking moon here. Real quick, I want to slide a fun tiddlywink of lore here before going deeper into this absolute dogshit program for an outrageous price tag. The seemingly main guy behind it, Jarchomp, he's a YouTuber who, before getting into this Pokemon space, actually had a 6-figure salary. He had a very high-paying job, which he quit to pursue Pokemon. So he had a huge advantage entering the space, by the way. So you'll pay $2,500 for his infinite wisdom here, when really step 1 is be rich. Genius. That's how these garbage-ass courses always go, where they charge an exorbitant fee for their tutelage, and they make their money off you being that idiot that bought into the course, and they just give you, like, simple tools and the basics, when really they themselves, in this space, already just had a big advantage over you where you're starting. So good luck. Now let's say you're not willing to fork over $2,500 per person. Well, they at least have the Creator Accelerator for a measly $1,000 per person, and this offers some incredible benefits, which is only available to clients who participate in the Beginner BST Masterclass, by the way. So I actually missed that the first time I looked at this. So you also have to check. I didn't know what the ADDTL meant. That's additional. Why not just fucking spell out additional in that case? That is a crazy way of abbreviating it that I've never seen. I thought this was a totally separate thing, but no. It's additive to the Buy, Sell, Trade Masterclass for $2,500. So if you want the full experience, it's actually $3,500 to do their 12-week course here to give you like the instructions on what the best type of chair to set outside of Target is for restocks, and buy at 80% market, sell at 100% market, that kind of crazy life hack. And then if you want more, it's an additional 1,000, which is going to give you like social media advice. This is a beginner and intermediate friendly extension likely to be valued whether you've never posted a video before, posted a bunch but aren't seeing results, seen some success in content already and want to deepen your knowledge or understand how to move past a current plateau. Content will focus on long form versus short form. One session each dedicated to the key principles and actionable details that set apart simple making a video from creating something entertaining and or valuable enough to truly accelerate and enable your business and community building. So now they're the kingmakers. Through cohort 2 here of the Jar Chomp mentorship program, you will not only be down 3,500 in the red, but you'll at least have really cool ideas on some banger videos you can make, such as, I went to a card show and bought these slabs, watch me try and flip it unsuccessfully. I went back and checked their flyer, and I misrepresented Cohort 2's length. It is not a 12-week program, it is 6 or 8 weeks, pardon me. So it's even less time for more money. My apologies. So it's 6 to 8 week, 20-person live program led by Jar Chomp Collectibles and Oyama Trading. I didn't look into Oyama Trading. I imagine it's probably a similar song and dance, similar story to Jar Chomp. I was laughing too hard when I found out Jar Chomp just openly talks about coming from a very high-paying salary background before diving into this space and is now actively hosing the community for even more money, even more thousands upon thousands of dollars to line his pockets. Now I know I've been calling it a course quite a bit, but they want to make it clear, bold and underlined, this is not a course. Spoiler alert. Yeah, it is. It 1000% is. I don't know why you're trying to rebrand that. Cohort 1 clients grew inventories from 0 to 15K to greater than 50K, started and scaled Instagram and YouTube, expanded their networks, made friends, and had a blast. Is that so? That means that they have presumably already peddled this same bullshit to a different crowd of people previously, the Cohort 1 goobers, that I imagine also paid thousands upon thousands of dollars for this trash. I'll take their word for it though. I have no doubt all the Cohort 1 clients went from 0 to 15K right away in just this 8-week training program. And also, some of them even going straight to the moon over 50K, and they all started scaling their Instagram and YouTubes. All of them are popping off right now. Have you heard of Mr. Beast? Yeah, he was probably a Cohort 1 client here at the Machamps Mentorship. And of course, they had a blast. And that's the most important thing. They all became great lifelong friends through the Machamps Mentorship program in Cohort 1. So it's very nice of them. It's a blessing that they're opening it up again for Cohort 2. So that way even more people can have this privilege. It's so fucking shameless, man. And they're not alone. I know there's other courses in this space offering similar things, but this is like the fucking Hustlers University for Pokemon degenerates. The pricing is diabolical. It's so shameless. It's sickening. Anyway, though, just wanted to make fun of more of these assholes. That's really about it. So, yeah. It's always adorable when a villain or clown from a previous season of YouTube drama pokes their curious little heads out from the shadow just to remind everyone that they're still out there and still an insufferable loser. That's what we're dealing with today. It's a YouTuber named TechLead, and a couple of years ago, CoffeeZilla threw him into the Thunderdome and smacked him down and exposed to the world that this guy is a superstar scammer. And this week he tried to puff out his chest and spread his invisible, non-existent lats by copyright claiming and taking down a video another YouTuber made about him that hurt his feelings. Internet Anarchist made a video kind of just going over the CoffeeZilla vs. TechLead saga from a while back, and TechLead decided to copyright strike him and openly, on camera, with 4K video evidence, admit to falsely flagging him and abusing the YouTube copyright system. This delusional douchebag attempted to take a victory lap over Internet Anarchist's corpse, gloating about his abuse of the YouTube copyright system. His sensitive little feelings led to the hatred blinding his eyes like cataracts, and him not realizing that he is openly admitting to something you are not allowed to do and can get into big trouble for. As I've mentioned in the past, there is a very popular case where YouTube themselves actually stepped in when someone was notorious for false flagging other YouTubers' content, took them to church and put the fear of God in them. Like, the false flagger back then got slapped with massive fines per instance of their abuse of that copyright system. So it is something that is taken very seriously, and this dumb, insufferable asshole is openly admitting to it on camera. That's not even doing it justice. He is so proud of it. He was wearing that like a Boy Scout badge on his jacket. But I'm assuming the stupid potion that he drank must have wore off, or maybe someone in his life kicked down the front door and told him how terrible of an idea that video was, because he has deleted it as of this afternoon. So the only footage I have to show you is from the internet anarchist, who was kind of just cutting the most shocking bits of what he openly admits to.
I tend to copyright strike down any expose videos on me because I understand that these are not real exposés. There's no journalism involved in here at all.
Journalism is probably the boogeyman that keeps him up at night, haunting his nightmares. Because any journalist that ever looks into Tech Lead will find the most filthy and foul resume ever. This guy super sucks, and any journalism that's ever done on him only further exposes how much of a scumbag he is. I also just have to mention that the title of his video where he talks about this actually gave me a bit of a belly laugh like fucking Santa Claus. He had the chutzpah to call the YouTubers he's referring to in the video scam tubers and put it in his title. Marinate in that for a moment. That's like Justin Timberlake calling someone else an alcoholic.
Welcome to the world of business where people are afraid that they're going to be doxxed. Well, if you're going to come into business and do business in this world, yes, you're going to be doxxed. You better have an identity. And so then he takes to Twitter complaining he's going to have to dox himself to the tech lead. So you're saying I have to share my personal information to tech lead or let my video be taken down? He's afraid he has to be doxxed if he wants to counter the dispute. YouTube jumps in and says, well, you can also hire an attorney if you want to represent yourself. Well, yeah, this is business, right? People have a complaint against you. You can't just be a nobody and hide behind anonymity, right?
You don't even have a real complaint. You have hurt feelings and thinning hair from the stress of being such a whiny loser. This is a ridiculous statement that just because you're in that field, you need to be doxxed. It's just, the way he talks about it, it just comes with the territory. You're out of your fucking gourd. Like, you've lost your marbles. I also can't stand the way he talks. He actually just sounds like what I imagine every Reddit mod who thinks their job is the most important thing in the world sounds like.
One of the main reasons I will actually copyright strike a video, though, is I want to know who's behind the video, right? I want to know who these people are. What if it's somebody I even know in real life? Oftentimes these haters are people who know you very well, actually. I mean, this could be a real physical threat to me.
That's called paranoia. Like, that's an actual mental disorder that you've got here. You might want to get yourself checked out for that one. You think that someone just making a video on the history of CoffeeZilla spanking your cheeks red could have been someone that you knew in real life that could lead to a physical threat against you because he made like a video essay about it. Come back to reality, tech leads. Snap out of the genjutsu that you're trapped under here. I don't know what world you're seeing. Like, that is a crazy perspective to have on it. Like, legitimately, that is unhinged. Now, I don't think he actually believes it. Like, in all honesty, I think the only reason he's putting that there is like a cover your own ass token as like a, oh, well, that sounds reasonable to like the mind of a Neanderthal, perhaps. But anyone who thinks about that for even like an iota of a second would immediately recognize that that is a ridiculous thing to actually believe, and I don't think he does. He's using that as some kind of justifiable reason for why he does that, but even he backpedals on that so quickly. Like, he gives up on that facade almost immediately.
Really, these scam tubers exist only because I allow them to exist. And I can shut them down anytime I like because I own all of the copyrights to the images and audio that they're using.
A complete fundamental misunderstanding of how anything in the real world works. What the fuck are you yapping about? What? No, let me go ahead and set the record straight here. They are your videos, sure. But anyone can take those videos and make their own creative pieces about them using clips from them. That has been argued in court 100 times at least, and every single time it is always ruled that that is completely okay to do, fair use, as long as they're not taking your entire video and using it, or doing nothing transformative with it, then they have the legal right to do so. They can take your video and highlight moments from it. Talk about moments from it, the same way I'm doing right here to throw tomatoes at you. What I'm doing isn't journalism. I'm just spitting on you and making fun of you for the absolute clown that you are. And I can do that, and there's not shit you can do about it legally. You're more than welcome to try. I will 100% use every single resource available to the entire legal firm that we have at our agency, Mana, which I am an owner of, to absolutely take you to court and embarrass you if you want to go that route. Though I don't think you want discovery to happen on your end, just a little hunch there, tech lead. But the point is, you're just completely wrong. Like this little supervillain monologue you're giving, like pinky to the mouth like Dr. Evil. They exist because I allow them to. Like your dumb little fucking speech has no teeth to it because it's completely fucking wrong.
I will issue these copyright strikes on these new YouTuber, Scamtuber videos. And I don't really care one way or another, I guess, but it's more of a hazing ritual for me, like a welcoming ceremony, just to let them know what they're in store for and who runs the show around here, who owns the content around here.
Oh God, Jesus, stand back. Whoa, whoa, this guy means business, holy shit. He's going insano style. Gee, wow, he's going fucking swag mode. He runs the show. He's the big dog. He's the big shot. The sheriff on the block. Watch out. Damn. Yeah, this all seems like the actions of someone who really doesn't care. Whining in a YouTube video about why you're falsely copyright striking other YouTubers, and then openly admitting that it's not even legitimate. It's a hazing ritual for you, a welcoming ceremony. That's the lamest shit I've ever heard. I have no doubt that you got wedgies growing up, and now this is your way of taking some of that power back. That's what I feel with this shit.
So this is my welcoming ceremony. What happens next in these copyright strike cases is typically we go into court proceedings where I have 30 days to file a legal action, which typically I'm not going to waste anybody's time doing. This is really just my welcoming ceremony, hazing ceremony for people, and so the video will probably be back up after a while. Now, regarding these copyright claims, the truth is, I don't really care. If I wanted to, I could go find all of these expose videos about me and copyright strike each and every one of them and take them down and take them to court if I really cared, if I wanted to.
You could absolutely try and do that. Just like I could try and do a backflip right now and probably break my fucking neck. But you can definitely try it and you would 100% fail. Just like me if I tried to do a backflip. You are openly admitting here. This right here would be evidence if you tried this. Because you are openly admitting that it's just a hazing ritual welcoming ceremony and not real. They're fraudulent strikes that you're issuing, blatantly abusing the copyright system. So, if you did actually take these to court, like the big shot you are, you would probably incur huge fines as a result of it, just like the last guy that YouTube beat down financially for this exact thing that you're talking about here. How dumb can you possibly be? He is with his whole chest talking about how he's abusing the YouTube copyright system here. And that is something that YouTube does take very seriously. So I'm very curious to see what they're going to do about this going forward. He has deleted his confession video already, and now Internet Anarchist video has been reinstated as well. At the very least, it seems YouTube is aware of this situation, so it's just a matter of what are they going to do about it going forward. But yeah, I had to talk about this a little bit. This guy, Tech Lead, is a complete fucking loser. That's really about it. So yeah. I remember a decade or so ago, there was this trend where some creepy, degenerate losers would go around in public and try and sneakily take pictures of women's panties by sliding their phone under their dress when they weren't paying attention. They treated it like they were Sam Fisher and Splinter Cell on a stealth mission trying to grab these photographs. And they'd take these pictures and they were called upskirts. If I remember correctly, there was even a Reddit community for that where they would proudly post this, which, by the way, is illegal. They were posting evidence of a crime they had committed on the subreddit. I'm pretty sure it got fully shut down, but right now there is like a Reddit upskirts community, but I think that's something totally different, like a phoenix that rose from those ashes, because it looks like those are upskirts that the people are taking of themselves for that community. But I do remember that there was a huge controversy about that a long time ago, and then pretty much overnight it disappeared. Just like Godzilla after a big rampage, it just vanished. I'd never heard about upskirts again. I never read any headlines about anyone doing upskirts, getting like arrested or anything like that, until 2 days ago, with a Target creep who got caught on video taking an upskirt of another shopper. And it's become a pretty big story now. So when I first saw this, I thought it was fake. I thought it was like one of those rage bait things that TikTok does really often. Because it really looks, it's so over the top, like I really thought it was staged to be like a lesson, like don't be a peeping Tom, don't be like this guy. But it turns out this is all super real. So he's now facing felony charges for this, obviously. I don't know why there's a watermark here, though.
Excuse me, what are you doing? No, I just saw you put that underneath her dress. Absolutely you did.
No, ma'am, I really wasn't.
You absolutely did.
Ma'am, I really wasn't.
So, like, he looks pretty much right at her while she's filming, and he puts his phone under her dress. So I really thought it was like, oh, this is a skit. This is fake. But no, this guy is just that much of a brazen pervert. Degenerate. It's actually real. So I'll show you the follow-up in a second, but no, he actually leaves here in handcuffs. He is facing felony charges, and his whole life is ruined. Rightfully so, because who knows how many times he's done this. Upskirts are a crime. Like, you can't be doing that, obviously. He's a fucking degenerate. His legs shaking, that's wild. Oh yeah, we didn't finish the video, yeah. And also, instead of leaving, he stays to try and, like, talk his way out of it. Like, he was trying to find all the right dialogue options in the tree to get the good ending, instead of just running away like most people like him. So he stays the entire time to get arrested.
I really promise I wasn't trying to do anything inappropriate. I wasn't. I really wasn't. I'm not like that.
Obviously you are. I literally have it on video.
But ma'am, I'm not. I really am not. Like, I know it might have seemed that way in like the
No,
video.
no. Okay, listen to me.
Yes, ma'am.
We're gonna wait for them to get here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Like, I was just trying to look
Nope.
at books.
I was just trying to look at books. Okay. That's... what an interesting alternate theory there. He's just browsing some good reads. That's all. In the Pokemon cards section, where all the best books are. This bro no porn exists. There's so many people like this, though. It's for them, I think, it's like the thrill of doing something like this. Like, I imagine this probably isn't the only time he's done it. And apparently he had been following the lady filming around the entire time, which is why she's filming here, because she got a very creepy vibe from this guy. And then I guess at some point she de-aggroed him, so then he went to this girl, started following her, and then did this.
No, I have video of him sticking his phone underneath this lady's dress as she had bent over, videotaping her. And he followed me all around the store.
Okay. So...
We need to get police.
Okay, if you can go ahead and call them also.
Oh, they don't have the next one. But he gets taken away in handcuffs. But he gets taken away from the target with the police. Turns out he was like a very active member of the church, like the local church they were at. This and that. He tried to talk his way out of it. It has not worked, and now he's facing some super serious charges. But this was something that I found interesting. He keeps denying that he wasn't doing anything wrong, and he apparently showed the police his phone, like the recent pictures, and he didn't have any recent pictures, but I don't know if that also means videos, or if he also had time to delete them. Last I heard, they subpoenaed to get like his deleted information for forensic examination. And they also said this too. Police say they have yet to discover anything inappropriate involving children. Yeah, he's a volunteer at the elementary school. Arrested and cuffed at a fucking library. Show some respect, brother. He's a target. Why was the lady taking a video in the grocery store? Perfect time to catch him. Damn it, it's a Target. It's not just a grocery store, and it's not just a library. Show some respect. But as she said, she was filming him because he was initially following her around in the children's section. She got a creepy vibe, so she started filming him and following him around and then caught that. This. Imagine the unexpected turn of events. He didn't film anything. The charges against that poor lady would be crazy. Even if in the most unlikely of circumstances he didn't film anything, him putting the phone under this lady's dress still shows the intent. Like, even if he didn't hit record, like he missed it, he still showed the intent. And even if you can't arrest him for that, he's still going to be ostracized from like his church community and like his friends for that. That's creepy shit no matter what. I don't think he was recording. I think they hear the click of a photo being taken. Nope. Actually, I don't know if this is true. Chat can tell me if this is true or not. When I was reading through the story after I found out it was real, I learned that this was a pretty popular thing overseas. So I think in Japan, I think is where it was, They instituted this mandate that if you're taking a picture or a video, it has to have a sound. So you can't do this discreetly anymore because it makes a sound. And I thought that was the craziest shit. That's real? That is true? That's wild. It was that big of a problem, huh? US supermarkets have the same energy as random encounters in GTA. My dad died taking an upskirt photo. Alright. Interesting meme. So he's actually facing some additional charges as well for secret peeping. They issued a warrant after identifying 3 separate victims at the store on Monday morning, so he's facing 5 counts of secret peeping in total. Dude was really creeping and peeping on a Monday morning here. Allegedly 3 separate victims? Goodness gracious, Jesus Christ. He was just sliding his phone under everyone with a pulse at this store, I guess. But anyway, he's been caught red-handed here. He would have got away with it if it wasn't for those meddling iPhones that can also record him as well. Like, the crazy thing about a phone is it can be used for more than just filming panties. It can film you filming panties. So I guess we'll see what happens here. I highly doubt there's any alternate explanation for what he was doing in this video. I can't think of a single possible other reason for why he did what he did there aside from upskirts. That's the only logical thing. I can't even think of some kind of ridiculous theory. Never mind, scratch that. I did come up with a ridiculous theory. What if he wasn't grabbing upskirts there and instead saw a very venomous spider on the ground? He saw a black widow and he got down there calmly as to not scare the shopper or scare the spider away and then smashed it with his phone. Who knows? Maybe that's the story. Maybe that's what he did. He squished a bug and saved the day. Obviously, I'm fucking kidding with that. The only thing that can explain his behavior here is that he is a sexual degenerate that was grabbing upskirts. So I guess we'll see what charges stick here or what comes from this story. That's really about it. I just wanted to share it. That's it. See ya. If I was to ever do a tier list of creepy guys on the internet, the guy I'm about to show you would be the undeniable, top-tier, triple S super smokin' style creep god. The individual you're about to see almost makes that guy that was sending pig carcasses to the coworker he loved seem sane. I know I've called one other person in a video the creepiest guy ever, but the man I'm about to show you today, I think is far more disturbed, so much so that I'm actually somewhat concerned for the safety of the people around him. I'm sure you've seen this video floating around right now because it's going viral, and for good reason. It is scary.
The Cracker Barrel, and I was going to play a song for a woman that I kind of like, and I got there, and she saw me and she immediately pulled away, and I wasn't forcing her to listen or anything, you know. I just wanted to play the song for her. You know, give her her own choice if she wanted to be with me.
Now, I'll quickly bring you up to speed on what's happening right now with the lore. So, the cops are there because the guy called them, I believe. So, he's a Kaioken times 10 weirdo. He called the cops because he wanted to report this girl's dad, a girl that he chased around while playing his music to try and win her love. And his music is downright horrifying. It sounds like 5 trash cans being violently slammed together while someone's getting murdered in an alleyway for the vocals. I have been so deep in this rabbit hole learning about this man. It's been like an episode of Mike Rowe's Dirty Jobs just gathering all this information. I'm gonna play you just a quick snippet from one of his tracks.
Fire sprout to the moon to the top and grow! Elements coming together now! Whoa! Feel the rap!
The voice of an angel. I can't believe this plan didn't work. It's so romantic it sounds straight out of a Disney film. He also keeps saying he was giving her a choice to listen to his music and fall in love with him. Even though there's no choice here because he was stalking her and chasing her, playing this over his fucking boombox, I guess. But anyway, she was so frightened that she ended up calling her dad, and her dad got in contact with him and said some mean things to him. So the guy then called the cops on the dad, hoping to like get him arrested or file something against him.
You know?
Does she know you?
Yeah, I worked with her there for like 5-6 months.
Did y'all have a relationship?
No, we were talking a little bit, but it never really got serious.
Okay.
But anyways, I pulled up there, and I was in the other parking lot, and I saw her get in her car, and I was like, oh shoot, it's my moment. So I pulled up there next to her, and she pulled away from me, and so I chased her a little bit, just because, I don't know, women are crazy. Like, I felt like she, like, wanted me to chase her.
Do you not think chasing somebody's crazy?
Well, it's just like, I only went like a couple blocks down the street.
God, it's so sad that women can't appreciate a good, nice guy like this. Women are so weird. How can they not appreciate a complete psychopath chasing them around for a few blocks while blaring music that sounds like the soundtrack to a slaughterhouse?
Just saying, don't you think chasing somebody's crazy when they obviously don't want to?
Well, I had my song playing, and I wanted to, like, her to hear it, maybe.
Well, apparently she didn't want to hear it, right? So what else happened? Let's get on these.
His complete lack of remorse and disconnection from reality is startling. Oh no, it's not weird, like, I'm not weird. Why are you trying to say that I'm the crazy one for chasing her? I had my song playing. Oh, did I forget to mention that? My song was playing, so now everything's justified. Like, I wanted her to hear it so she'd have a choice to fall in love with me, obviously.
Her father called me up, and he made some threats to me and to my life.
Okay.
And so I just want to have his name on file.
What did he say to you?
I think he said he's going to stab me, like, but he's like cussing at me.
He said that, or he did say that?
He says, I'm going to do something to you. I swear I'd do something to you.
For chasing his daughter?
Yeah, but it wasn't chasing. It was like going down a couple streets. Like, that's like fun to women. Like, women like that. A little bit of excitement.
No, they don't.
Fucking unhinged logic. No, I wasn't chasing her. It was like minor stalking. You know, that's nothing. Women love to be stalked. Like, it's fun to them. It's exciting. God, what an absolute lunatic. So yeah, the dad calls, apparently made threats against him because I'm assuming his daughter called him in a panic, like, holy shit, this guy's coming after me, and I'm fucking horrified. So the dad is trying his best to, like, stop anything bad from happening, so I'm sure the dad in this, like, passionate moment's like, leave her the fuck alone, or I'm gonna do something about it, I'll give you a knuckle sandwich, why I oughta. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. To try and protect his daughter, keep her safe, doing what he can from a distance. Like, get the fuck away from her, you creep.
Well, women don't like to be chased.
What about, like,
if I was a father, I'd probably tell you the same thing.
What about, like, BDSM porn, where women like to have rape fantasies?
Well, apparently this girl doesn't.
Well, who knows? Most women do like having rape fantasies.
It took us only about a minute for him to start mentioning rape after talking about stalking and, you know, downplaying how stalking's not a big deal. Immediately brings it to BDSM and rape fantasies. From fucking out of nowhere. Oh, you're gonna call me crazy for chasing her? Well, what about rape? You know, there's rape fantasies in porn, what about that, And then he has the gall, the chutzpah to say most women have a rape fantasy. It's blowing my mind here, this guy's thought process. Fucking crazy. I'm also 100% sure he's never had an actual conversation with a woman. When he mentioned at the beginning they were kind of talking, I imagine it's because they were coworkers, and she said, like, hi to him occasionally, or, like, while they were working, were like, hey, need to do this. And that, to him, was, like, meaningful interaction with a human female. This is, like, a scary individual. His brain immediately jumps to rape when confronted with his actions.
Okay. Do you think she does?
I don't know. But
apparently she don't.
Well,
so what do you want us to do?
Well, I just want you to get his name on file, just in case he does do anything to me.
Do you know his name?
I know his daughter's name.
What do you know his name?
I know her name. I don't know his name. He called me from a restricted phone number.
Okay. Here's my suggestion. Leave her alone.
A great suggestion from the officer here. Superb. Just get the fuck away from her. Leave her alone. Solves all the issues here. Case closed. Didn't even need Dr. Phil on this one to get to the bottom of it. The solution was obvious. Just get away from her.
Well, this is one song I made, and this was the final chance I was going to have.
Here's my chance. Here's my advice. It's over. Leave her alone.
Okay.
Fathers will hurt you over their daughters.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is she needs to have her own free will, man. You gotta understand, I'm a man myself, bro, and I have needs myself.
She's choosing her free will by telling her daddy what happened to you, and I'm telling you, stay away from her because he will hurt you probably.
She's being controlled by him.
For some reason, he's so delusional, he keeps thinking that she doesn't have her own authority to make her own choices, yet keeps saying she needs her own free will. She had her own free will by running away from you, by like being scared of you, running away, and then telling her dad that is her making choices to try and protect herself from you, because you are the threat. You're the fucking danger that's knocking on her door, and she is responding with her own free will of getting the fuck away from you as fast and efficiently as possible. It's just such a scary thought process, because in his mind, he's totally justified in everything that happened here, and it's all normal to him. And the fact that she's not in love with him right now, not in his arms, in his bed, is because her dad is forcing her to make choices to split the two apart. It's not her making those choices, because he's perfect. The guy with his music, his mixtape that sounds like 5 fucking squirrels being blown to pieces, he thinks his music's the best, and he's the best man in the world, so there's no way she is choosing on her own free will to not be with him. That is a dangerous thought process.
That's fine. That's her choice, right? Free choice, free will.
I think she should go do porn.
Okay, you need to leave.
It's legal.
You need to leave.
Well,
we're not doing anything. You need to leave.
I'm having a discussion on...
I'm having a discussion telling you to leave.
I actually appreciate how the officer handles this situation here. He's not giving this guy an inch. He is fighting him on every point he tries to make. Not that any of his points have any logical basis whatsoever or any sound reasoning, but I like that the officer's pushing back on everything, and he crosses a line when he says she should do porn. Where does that even come from? Like, everything this guy is saying is a giant red flag, and he needs legitimate help.
I was going to let her make her own choice after the song.
Well, she's made her choice.
And I just don't think she had a reasonable opportunity to make a choice, because I'm going to blow up, and I'm going to be a famous DJ, and I'm going to be
How old is she?
He still really believes that because she didn't finish listening to his song, she didn't have the right to say no. She didn't have reasonable basis for declining and rejecting him, I suppose. He believes he's gonna blow up and be a famous DJ or this and that, thus she's making a huge mistake and needs to reconsider the choice, and her dad's making her choose this. It's fucking terrifying.
Oh shit. You know what? Lindsay's dad, I hope you see this fucking video.
Now, just like in The Dark Knight, we have the Joker turning the camera on himself here, and we get to take a look at him. And he really still believes everything he's done is justified, and that the girl and her dad are the villains here.
You know what happens when women don't ever, you know, come to terms with themselves? The bad shit happens. I don't know. Something the cops want to deny.
And this right here I think should be taken very seriously. This is not a mentally well person, and this comes across as an actual threat against the safety of both the girl and her father here. He's already shown that he has no problem stalking women, and I really think this needs to be looked at seriously to make sure that he's not in a position to do harm to anyone around him. It's just very concerning.
Me trying to get her to be straight. Something is wrong about that. I don't see why these traditional ass motherfuckers think they can speak shit whenever it's this woke, belligerent LGBT shit that has her right now. I just don't see it. I'm older than their fucking father. That's how I feel right now.
Yeah, this rant's really going off the fucking rails. So apparently the girl isn't interested in men, and his plan was to make her interested in men by giving her his love as well as letting her listen to his songs. And when she still wasn't interested, she blames the dad. Like, the dad is the one that's made his daughter not like him, and then says that he is older than her dad. Like, it's so fucking wild. But it is all very concerning to listen to. I just wanted to share this because I do think this is the creepiest guy I've seen online so far. And I truly hope that everyone involved here is safe, and hopefully this guy gets the help that he very much needs. Anyway, that's about it. See ya. If you've got a full belly, prepare yourself, because you might just puke upon seeing and listening to this unbelievable, embarrassing cringe. This is the worst flirting, the worst attempt at wooing a potential romantic interest I have ever seen. This is like playing a visual novel and then scaring away all of your potential love interests at once and getting the worst ending. Now, I'd like to give a bit of context here to the situation before we really dive into the meatballs from our spaghetti entree of cringe. A user on Twitter posted screenshots as well as videos from a random guy who had reached out to her on Facebook because he had seen her on a dating app. The two didn't even match, and I guess he must have assumed that it was some kind of glitch because they were destined to be lovers. It was fate that was pulling them together, but unfortunately technology had a malfunction, so he took matters into his own hands, tracked her down on Facebook, of which she had no connection to the dating app. She didn't connect any of her socials to the dating app, so he did some super sleuthing to find her on Facebook and reach out to her there to try and win her heart. And let's see how that went. Kelsey! I love that intro right there. It's straight out of Scary Movie, like that old commercial. What's up? He's coming at her like they're best friends from way back in the day. He then executes Order 66 and kills all potential for romance. He goes, I mean, okay, shit. Mayhaps that was a tad overly enthusiastic for a stranger danger message on a sunny Friday morning. There is so much quirk to the way that he texts that I'm getting uncomfortable. I can say with a high level of confidence that he is definitely in some kind of theater troupe because he is typing like he's acting out some kind of skit for a play. It's a little much here. My bad. Let's go with, I can explain. Fuck yeah, that works. Then drops a couple of emojis and then one of these bad boys. How she didn't immediately fall in love with this man is beyond me. This is aggressive. And it's already creepy because it's a complete stranger who saw her on a dating app and then tracked her down in order to, really directly communicate with her. So, let's go over where things went wrong here. I'll go ahead and get the playbook out like John Madden and say where everything fell apart for the offense. From the start, basically. There is nothing that's even remotely salvageable from what he tried to do here. There is nothing more annoying than texting like you're talking to yourself during the text. Like when you say something like, Kelsey, oh wait, shit, mayhaps that was a tad too far on a stranger danger sunny Friday afternoon. Goodness gracious, how do I save this? Like that is so fucking lame. That is shameful. That is just downright shameful. I am shocked he didn't drop like an asterisk nuzzles you, and then an asterisk, you there? Yeah, and then one of those emojis. So she said, sorry, do I know you? And then it reactivates this cringe protocol. He says, oh hey, no, we don't know each other. Sincere apologies for this subterfuge. Oh brother, this guy stinks. Dropping subterfuge here in your creepy approach to a stranger. If you give me the tiniest bit of room, I'd be happy to explain. I reckon that said explanation will bring laughs and smiles. P.S. Not trying to rope you into a pyramid scheme to sell fancy Tupperware. Yet. He's trying very hard to be self-aware, and when he starts sending his voice memos to her, he reiterates 1,000 times like, this is weird, you're probably gonna think I'm weird, and then just keeps doing it. He sends so many voice messages that go for a long, long time. It's making my voice crack because of how fucking embarrassing it is. And you want to know the wildest part? I'm getting ahead of myself, and it's a spoiler. He has done this to multiple women, apparently. Other women have come forward after this tweet and all of this, the receipts here and all that went viral, with other women showing their interactions with him, and he even uses like the exact same lines on other women, which is really odd considering that has to be a 0% success rate. These can't be working well at all. It's so weird. So she decides to play ball here and open Pandora's box to see what comes out. She says, explain away, and he gives a brief, cool guy thing. Oh god, I just spent 60 minutes singing to seniors and man am I drained. But fuck it, I can do this. He's hyping himself up in the text messages he is sending to this girl. It is so embarrassing, and he keeps doing it, but it gets worse because right after that, he sends a voice message.
Hey, Kelsey, how's it going? Don't mind me, I fucking hate texting. I think we're all better without it, so I usually use one of these when I can. Also, I don't know if you've ever seen that Key and Peele skit, but that's how I feel about texting. I could go on. Anyway, I just want you to know right off the bat, I fully accept how fucking weird this is. I'm sorry, but like I said, I think if you give me a second, you'll probably end up laughing, and not that you need my permission, but feel free to just laugh directly at me for being a fucking idiot, for I am surely about to embarrass myself right now.
I do appreciate your stamp of approval. I and everyone else will be laughing directly at you for this, and I appreciate that you recognize what an unbelievably weird thing it is to do. I don't know why you keep doing it. This is the first of many voice messages he sends, even after recognizing this immutable fact that it is weird and embarrassing.
And sorry for the delay. I was going to get back to you, but someone called about a gig tomorrow and I'm trying to help them find a musician. Also, I'm not sure if I'm fucking funny anymore. I just spent 60 minutes, like I said, playing guitar and singing to a room full of senior citizens, but the room was stuffy and hot. I had to do it with the surgical mask on, and I'm not sure if I have any funny or social energy left, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try and fake it right now. So thank you for your understanding and patience, and here goes nothing. I'm a fucking idiot. Enjoy.
He's actually treating this like it's some kind of movie audition. What are you talking about? I also I love that he immediately makes himself seem like super busy, like, hey, sorry for the delay. I know you were waiting on bated breath for my explanation, but I had to help very big musicians find a gig. You may have heard of them before. Bring Me the Horizon. Yeah, I'm the lead singer. So I had a lot going on. I was double booked, so I had to give them a different band. You may have heard of them, Metallica. But anyway, let me go ahead and explain what's going on. I just finished one of my own gigs, in fact, so I'm a little drained, but don't be perturbed because I'm going to do my best to fake it. So stay tuned for part 2. It's coming right up. Like he's about to go through his stand-up comedy routine, which, you don't want to miss.
In the trenches of online dating for a couple of years, so I definitely know how to identify the kind of person I'm like, if nothing else, the world would be better if we were friends. So hear me out. First of all, I never fucking see that shrug emoji. No one else uses it. It's typed into my phone. If I type shrug with 2 G's, it just shows up. Same thing on my laptop. Like, I'll use it in work emails. Fuck it. So right away, I'm like, interesting. I don't get it, though. She's cute. For how pretty she is, she should be boring. Why does she seem kind of strange in a good way?
That's a spectacular start right there. I was like, she's kind of pretty, so why isn't she like a fucking lobotomite boring dumbass? Like, she used an emoji that I really like, and she's pretty. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Pretty women can't have a personality, but you're like defying all of science right now. He just keeps going on about this fucking shrug emoji. He's talking about her bio on the dating site, and he just really fixates on that. That shrug emoji is like Cupid's arrow to this guy. He fell in love instantly when he saw it in her bio. I don't know why he thought it was a compliment to say that she's like strange and different in a good way because pretty women are like boring or whatever, insinuates that a pretty girl can't have a personality. I don't know what the thought process was with that approach, but it's definitely a bold play.
I think you said something about live music. My job is actually live music. I play guitar and sing. I do about 25 shows a month. I know it sounds made up. I feel like I invented the job. It's redonkulous, but I live very comfortably. Life is good. I do play at a lot of retirement homes, and it's great for my self-esteem, Kels, as I am a big hit with women over 80.
Time out. Technical foul here. He just dropped a redonkulous. He just said redonkulous. And then not only that, in his only second voice message here, he's already just calling her Kels. They're not even on like a first name basis. They're not acquaintances. These are two complete strangers, and he's already giving her like a nickname. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, and just the night before, I'd been talking to one of my best friends in the world, Roxy. Just people that like match you and they just write hey. So if someone writes hey, I just write hi. And if someone writes sup, I go nothing much, you. And like people that match me and clearly haven't read my fucking bio, folks will match and be like, so what do you do for a living? I'm like, come on, Chelsea. Like, yeah, you're kind of cute, but I'm pretty damn sweet. Try harder.
Why are you even talking about this? You're like trauma dumping on this complete stranger right now that you've tracked down from a dating app to try and communicate directly with because you didn't match with her. What the fuck is this? Now you're just going on about like, dating apps are so weird. People just say like, hey. So then I'm like, hi. You don't know how to have a conversation. You didn't read the bio that I painstakingly typed up. I spent a long time on that bio and now I'm offended. Ridiculous. Excuse me, redonkulous.
I don't know. It's just to see someone mention that in a bio, I'm like, thank you. I can see that you feel the same as me. Yeah, if people, I always think that effort should match interest in dating. So if you're curious if someone's interested or not, remember that scene with Justin Long and what's her face in that movie about dating? Is it he's just not that into you? And he's like, if the guy's interested, he will call. And it's true. So I found a line a couple years ago and it's like, effort will always match interest. It will show you how interested someone is. And like, I'm pretty goddamn sweet and I am not that lonely, bored, or horny. I'm not going to take breadcrumbs from someone if I want a sandwich. So if someone hits me with a hey or hi, you can go fuck yourself.
He's just sounding like a complete unhinged asshole here. It's not that deep. What do you mean they can just go fuck themselves? No one's even, like, what does this have to do with anything in this situation? This isn't even flirting. This is just blurting. He's just blurting out all of the most nonsensical shit in his head right now to a complete stranger. And not only that, this is probably not even his first take. I bet he recorded this like 10 times until he had one that was like, this is the one. This was smooth. And that's what we got here. We got the final product. This isn't even like the first draft, I doubt. That's mind-blowing.
I'm worth more. Damn it. This is where the Kelly Clarkson song comes in. Yeah, no, your bio is just, there was so much intentional effort put in. And honestly, the more I scroll down in the pics, I'm like, this does not match up. I don't want to sound like an asshole. Like, attractive people can also be interesting and funny, but it's just incredibly rare. I speak for myself because I'd like to consider myself one of those.
That's the end of chapter 2 from the voice memos, but don't worry, there's still a finale, and it's the extended director's cut. The next one's over 5 minutes long. Also, he doubles down on this whole, like, yeah, you're, like, pretty, but you have a personality, which that just does not happen. I don't know why he thinks that that's some kind of, like, grand compliment. It's very odd. Now, before playing the 5-minute, 30-second monologue here, he must have seen that she listened to it. He's like, ha, gotcha! Yeah, I gotcha! Red-handed, you listen to it. Curiosity got the better of you. And then she says, dude, so you saw me on Bumble and found me on Facebook? How? Clearly very creeped out by it, understandably. And then he goes, oh, I honestly just typed in Kelsey and I guess I got lucky. I figured because you put live music we might have some friends in common or something. I blame Zuckerberg, and then laughing emoji. Which contradicts everything that he's said here, because he's constantly talking and referencing her bio, which I think is referring to her dating profile bio, especially because he does mention, like, online dating with hays and highs and shit. So I don't even know why he thought that would somehow save the situation. Like, she'd be fooled by it.
For the love of fuck. I was like 2 minutes into one and it was awesome and funny and I was so proud of it. And then someone called me again about a gig this evening and it's like, you know that thing where your friends know you're busy or you're on a date or something and then that's when they decide to call? Jesus Christ.
Excellent. Chef's kiss. This is how you start a romantic message. Ah, for the love of fuck. I was in the middle of something spectacular. You were gonna love it, Kels. You were gonna love it. Trust me. But then one of my fucking asshole friends called me about a gig because I'm so busy being a successful live musician. Can you believe that, Kels? Can you believe that? It's like those things, you know, where like we both go on dates, right? I go on dates. Clearly, you go on dates. And sometimes when you're just busy, people call. It's Jesus Christ.
But yeah, no, your bio was just the fucking bee's knees. I mean, listen, top 3 in like the hundreds or thousands I've seen. It was just, I don't know. I'm a very good judge of character and you just seem like my kind of person. And I'm not saying we're star-crossed lovers. I don't know you and you don't know me.
That's 100% correct. You don't know each other. So why are you doing this? This is not how you get to know someone. This is concerning. Also, you should never admit to seeing hundreds or thousands of dating profile bios. That makes you sound very desperate, that you spend all of your time on these dating apps, perusing it, cruising around, and if you don't match with someone you found attractive or interesting based on their bio, you go out of your way to find them elsewhere to try and talk to them, which is very scary behavior.
I fully accept how strange and unconventional this is. I got a vibe and I figured I gotta go with it. I was like in a really good mood that day. I don't know. I'm totally winging it. But yeah, a lot of my close friends are women and everyone unfortunately has a couple stories of having to block someone's number, or an ex just won't leave them alone, or going to the cops. Fuck, dude, I've had to block a few numbers of crazy people that didn't know they were crazy. So I really, really apologize sincerely if this in any way like triggered that, or it was weird or whatever. Kelsey, that's the furthest thing from my intention. I just wanted to say howdy, and I figured if I talk like an idiot, you'd probably feel like I did after I looked at your bio.
It's so close. He's teetering on the edge of self-awareness. Him saying all of this out loud should have led to this eureka moment where he was overcome with immense shame, and he just presses the eject button and deletes the voice memo and doesn't continue this conversation. Like, he's clearly pointing out just how weird all of this is. He's even going into all of his friends are women who, you know, have stories about having to block crazy people who didn't know they were crazy. Like, case in point, what you're doing here, but you keep trying to, like, make it seem like it's not weird, even though you do keep acknowledging how weird it is. So, like, you're fighting, like, a battle against yourself in your own messages. You are calling yourself out in front of the person that you're talking to as well. It's really weird.
Oh, okay. It's not fair. You've seen mine, or sorry, I've seen yours and you have not seen mine. If you want, I will screenshot my Bumble bio. I'm quite proud of it. I think it's pretty fucking good. It represents me well. And what else would I want to know if I was you? Gee, I'm like 6 feet tall, pretty damn handsome. I'd give me like a 7. No, like a 7.5 out of 10 looks wise. I mean, to my knowledge, no one has dated me for my abs or my hair. I'm guessing it's because I'm funny and honest and clearly very humble and go to therapy and emotionally intelligent.
It's not a job interview, bro. You don't need to be giving your resume here. Brother, just stop. Please. Goodness gracious.
7.5, maybe even an 8. I'm feeling really fucking good lately. I got a tan. I'm up to like 80-second side planks. I hate them, but they're totally worth it for the core. And big feet. So you know what that means, baby doll. Big socks.
You're scaring me. You are scaring me. Why would you do that? What? From way downtown here, he's throwing up a crazy jump shot. He immediately goes into, I've got big feet. You know what that means, baby girl. Oh my lord, please. Have mercy. Have mercy. Why? Why?
What else? I feel like I didn't tell you enough about the bio too. That shrug emoji was just, if nothing else, the fact that like you look like a Disney princess and you use that, I'm like, fuck it, I gotta talk to her. So, oh, I was definitely getting strong Kirsten Bell vibes too, and she's awesome. I don't know if you listen to her husband's podcast, Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard. I know it's quite the reference, but I have a feeling you might know what that is. One of my favorite episodes, actually, is it Lauren Graham that plays Lorelai? She was on there. Anyway, I am all over the fucking place, as is my job.
You're also all over the place in this one-sided conversation. Now you're shouting out podcasts, talking about fucking shrug emoji again. It's hurting me listening to this. Let this be a lesson to everyone out there watching this. Just don't do anything even remotely like this. Never engage in a one-sided conversation where you have to be the one filling in blanks in a conversation that doesn't really exist.
But I'm sitting here, a middle-aged guy in his car with the AC on and a SpongeBob shirt, and I would call this like the technological version of, you know, when like Noah stops Allie in the Notebook and he's like, I had to talk to you when I see something I want. Yes, I just made a Notebook reference. I don't know. I'm being a total idiot right now. So if nothing else, I figured you'd have a laugh and a smile and you can fucking make fun of me to your friends. I don't know. Now you have a solo podcast for a guy that makes like $6,000 a month on a microphone being an idiot.
He was right. This is something that everyone can laugh about and have a big smile on their face making fun of this whole situation. And then out of nowhere, he drops like his salary from his job, like to flex. He just like slides that in there, which, I mean, it's an interesting strategy yet again. This guy's got a wild book of tricks.
I'm sorry, I don't normally bring up money, but I feel like I created my job out of thin air, and like I just submitted my 2022 taxes, and shit's been getting so much better the last few years, so I'm quite proud of it. That wasn't me trying to impress you, though, with money. I've got way more impressive shit than that. It just slipped out. I hope we can still be friends. Anyway,
Why leave it in there, then? You saying that clearly made you uncomfortable. You could have just deleted this and just tried again. though I don't think you should have tried again regardless. This shouldn't have happened to begin with, but you yourself just made you just made yourself puke in your mouth when you said your you know, $6,000 a month out loud like that as like a flex. And you still let it ride. You still let this Beyblade rip. Why?
You look like a goddamn Disney princess. The bio completely floored me. I felt like it was written by a friend or something. I just got like strong, like fellow nerd, divergent, super cool, gregarious, happy person vibes. And yeah, so listen, I'm an open book. You probably figured that out like 6 overshares ago. If you have any questions for me, please hit me. Don't be shy. If you want, I'll share my bio. I feel like it's unfair that, you know, I've seen yours and you haven't seen mine. I'm quite proud of my bio.
This entire situation has been nothing but overshares from you. She's not going to ask you any questions. No sane person would. It's not going to happen. This whole thing was a complete catastrophe. And once again, hung up on this fucking bio thing. They're just bios. Most people write them in 10 seconds. I don't know how long he spent, like, finally crafting his, but that is not the norm. I'm sure she didn't spend days coming up with her bio on here. I don't know how it resonated so strongly with this guy, but I bet after this whole song and dance, the woman here immediately just deleted her whole account, or at the very least removed the bio entirely.
Yeah, for the 80th time, I apologize if this was weird, or like gave you any bad vibes. That's not my intention. Yeah, I gotta drive home now because I gotta go sing at a bar in Mississauga, and I have 4 more gigs this weekend, and it hurts to talk. So I'm sitting here in my car like a jackass, and yeah, I hope that all made some kind of sense. And if nothing else, please take the sincere compliment. I've seen hundreds of shitty bios, probably thousands, and yours was easily top 3. The only reason I'm not giving you number 1 is because then it would seem like I'm lying. But I'm a very genuine, honest person, and yeah. Actually, on my way home, I'm going to go to the park and feed the ducks. My favorite swan couple, Mr. Plump and Mrs. Plumfett, they just had babies a couple weeks ago. So, like, I'll run up and they recognize me and the babies are squeaking. The hierarchy of, like, waterfowl cute babies, it goes swan babies, then ducklings, and then goslings. But, yes, I may or may not do that 4 to 7 times a week. I'm a huge animal lover. Dogs are better than cats. Cats suck. Sorry if you have cats, but I'm sure your cat is cool.
That was one of the most peculiar lies I've ever heard. You're going to stop at the park on the way home so you can visit your favorite swan couple, Mr. Plump and Mrs. Plumfett, because they just had babies a couple weeks ago, and they recognize you and get excited and start squeaking when you come by, like you're part of the family, part of the crew, part of the ship. What universe? What the fuck? That's not even something Dr. Seuss would write as like a little goofy side plot in a story. That is the biggest lie I've ever heard for no reason. For no reason. The quirkiness is overloading. Like, the cup runneth over on quirk. Wow.
And yeah, take the compliment. Anyway, apologies if this totally like intruded on your day, opposite of my intention. And yeah, your bio was fucking awesome. I mean, there's a couple other assets I noticed too, but I cannot mention them without sounding like a fuckboy, so I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm sure you've worked very hard to be in the shape you're in, but goddamn, lady. God damn, I would not kick you out of bed for eating crackers. So I figured if you are half as funny as you seem to be and half as cool as I got from that bio, I would say howdy. Yeah, all right. Hope this made you laugh and smile, and you have a fantastical day, Kelsey. Cheers.
And that's the grand finale of this whole situation, and what a journey it was. I find this to be probably the best example of the worst approach to romance imaginable. And like I said, this was not an isolated incident. He's done this before. And he's even used the same lines before. Which is it's so wild. It's so wild. I had to talk about it. I had to. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. I know that every single one of you watching this video right now has that one piece of content that you saw at some point in your life that is just burned into your brain and you can never forget it. Now, it might not be something that you obsess over and dwell on, think about every single day of your life, you know, writing it on the walls or something, like you get crazy with it, but it is a video that you've watched that you'll never forget. For a lot of you, that'll be the basic things like 2 Girls, 1 Cup, or Goatsy. But for me, these videos are usually like public freakouts that just really make me mad thinking about. So then sometimes when I'm in like a bad mood about something, I'll think of them and make myself even more upset. Which is super stupid, but, you know, it is what it is. And there's one video in particular that pops up every few months that every time it gets floated around again and reposted, I watch in its entirety, and then I go through and get upset about it all over again as if for the first time.
Grab the water too. Thank you. Hey, can I ask you something, by the way? No, it's just that every time I come here, like at the late night hour, I don't know why you're like very, like it's not even me because I know it's not just me. Like I'm sure you're like this way with everyone. You just like are very impatient. Like if like you don't want this job, you don't have to be here. Like I'm just letting you know, like you literally rush my order every single time and I hate having you.
This video is just the final raid boss of public freakouts that ticks every single box that just steams my ham. It gets me so heated every time. It is an asshole filming it themselves, filming their actual worst moment, which is always just baffling to me. They're being a piece of shit to someone in the service industry, specifically at fast food, which seems to just be the Thunderdome for degeneracy with these fucking weirdos that go there just to stir up a controversy. This is a premeditated embarrassment. He went there already filming the window, ready to confront this guy, because he said that he rushes his order. Brother, it's a fast food restaurant, you stupid fucking worm. You fucking imbecile homunculus. Why are you whining about your food being rushed? That's the entire point of fast food. It's the entire reason the establishment exists, to deliver the food quickly. And he's complaining about it. It's crazy. Like, the 3 little neurons in his dumb little spongy fart brain couldn't process that the reason the worker is giving him his food quickly is because that's his job. That's the whole point of it. But then, to top it off, the guy filming is also drunk driving. He's a self-admitted drunk driver. He literally reports himself in the video. It actually rolls up everything that makes me mad about public freakouts into like one video. So this is just like the full complete Christmas package of things that just grind my ass.
And I mean, I'm sure my word means nothing to you, but I'm just telling you, you have the choice to have a different profession. This isn't a profession. I'm sure you're just very incompetent and you have to work here.
It's better than your lack of profession, where you still treat mommy and daddy like coin blocks in Mario for you to jump up and hit for your allowance that you use to purchase your truck with. I remember when this video surfaced, I went fucking super sleuth on it because I had to know if there was a follow-up. He filmed it himself, so surely he would see everyone clowning on him. And sure enough, at the time, he did issue an apology on Facebook, and I didn't forgive him then. And I don't forgive him now. Fuck him. He's also a drunk driver, which I will never have any level of forgiveness for. But he's also a fucking turbo dweeb who tries to lecture him on why his job doesn't matter and it's not even a profession, and says that the reason he has it is because he must be incompetent. Oh, you slimy fucking weasel. You goofy little bowl of horseradish. It is unreal that a drunk driver that wasn't employed at the time of the video, maybe he is now, and it would be poetic if he is also working in the fast food industry, and now maybe we'll understand the pain of horrible people like him coming through. But I'm already getting lost in some erotica fanfic about justice existing in the real world. Point is, this absolute unhinged dork then takes time out of his night to try and shit on this guy who's just doing his job and doing it well. That is just downright despicable behavior. It's so fucking embarrassing, and he filmed it himself too, so he's also a delusional, stupid asshole too.
But I'm not being ignorant either. It's just like, I come here to get food. Who cares, like, if I've been drinking or doing whatever? Like, I come here at a late night hour, I get food. Every time I have you, I fucking hate it. It makes me sick.
I'm so sorry about that.
Huge save by clarifying that he's not being ignorant. Wouldn't want anyone to get confused here. I also love that all of this starts by saying, hey, can I ask you something? And then he goes into this monologue shitting on the guy and explaining why he hates him. Because he gets his food out too fast. He's too good at his job. Thus, this absolute fucking stupid moron is like, you're a bad man. You must not want to see me. He has a personal grudge against me and wants to get me out of here, shoo me away like a stray animal. He hates me for some reason, so I hate him. He gives me my food too quick. Damn it. I also imagine that he carries this energy with him everywhere. So, Godspeed to the waiters and waitresses that have been unfortunately subjected to this plague of a person that sweeps through asking and demanding some kind of certain service. Like, excuse me, harlot, you didn't smile at me when you took my order. You fucking hate me. This isn't even a real profession. This isn't even a real profession. You must just be incompetent. Like, I imagine this is just him. Like, this is just him fully. Like, this isn't just an isolated incident. But anyway, I'm gonna replay this just in case you missed it the first time. He says something very important here.
I come here to get food. Who cares, like, if I've been drinking or doing whatever? Like, I come here at a late night hour, I get food. Every time I have you, I fucking hate it. It makes me sick.
I'm so sorry about that.
Full-blown self-report here. He just says, who cares if I've been drinking or doing whatever? So you've been drinking and doing whatever frequently and then come here to get food. So you're a constant drunk driver. You're a menace. I'll tell you who cares. Every innocent person on the road will care if you've been drinking and getting behind the wheel of a vehicle. It's dangerous to everyone around you, including yourself. I will never, ever sympathize with a drunk driver. And it's certainly not one like this. This guy's just a turbo douchebag. This is next level douchebag shit. I feel so bad for the worker here. Like, he just sits here and listens to this whole spiel over nothing. Like, this whole temper tantrum hoopla.
No, I'm sure you're very sorry about it. I'm sure you're very sorry about it. But you are very shitty to me every time I come here.
I'm so sorry.
No, I'm sure you're not actually sorry, and you're just saying that because, like, whatever's happening or you're being recorded. So, yeah.
This warrior is a patient saint because that window should have closed far earlier, but he let this guy continue to vomit out a bunch of fucking nonsense, upset over nothing. The service was too efficient, I guess. I suppose that this guy really thinks he's the main character of life, and everyone should be trying to communicate and talk with him. When he's just at a fast food place, clearly you're just getting your food and leaving. That's the whole point of it. I don't know what he was expecting or what he wanted. All this worker did was get him his food and send him on his way. He did nothing wrong. He did nothing to warrant any kind of hostile response. He just keeps blabbering on about how getting him at the drive-thru makes him sick because he's impatient and rushes his food. Like, it's still 2 years later makes me upset. And it popped up again this week, so I wanted to talk about it. Like I said, it gets reposted like once every few months, and every time it does, I get angry all over again. Like I have like arguments with the driver of this truck in my head from time to time. Like I don't know how someone ends up that much of a monstrous asshole. I don't know how you end up so entitled and shitty. I don't. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. That's it. See ya.